Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
We are live.
Oh, my computer just didn't.
We're live. We're live.
But I'll be honest, I can't see you. I can't see you.
I swear you can't see me at all.
I can't see nothing on my screen, bro. I can hear you, but I can't see you.
You know what then?
The screen's starting to make. I'm going to screenshot and show you what I'm looking at right now. It's a madness.
They said they can see us both, so it might be just your computer, to be fair.
Look, people, welcome to the show. As always, when you get behind the mic, please make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. Throw one in the chat if you can hear and see us, so Matt can see if we.
I can see it, buddy. I can see you as well.
All right, cool. We've got a few things to talk about tonight. Drifty will be joining us as well, guys, so don't worry. 4 topics on the agenda. The number 6 position. Conceding first in games. The Thiago situation. And is this a top 4 race for Liverpool or a title race for Liverpool? Matt, first and foremost, how are you doing, bro?
I'm blessed, bro. I'm just still annoyed about the result that from the weekend, if I'm being honest, because you look at other teams around us and you think we had to win that game. However, we didn't lose, but it's just dropped points again. And I think it's become more apparent now that we just can't ignore the fact of, as good as our squad is, there's a few things I think that we can do, and you think we can do, and even the chat as well, think that we can do to maybe solidify us. Because like you said, Carl.
Sorry, Matt. Let me just hold you right there. Before we go into the number 6 position, what are the positions in the squad that you think we're still lacking in?
I feel we need another right back, a natural right back, like a natural right back to either challenge.
For everything you say, I'm going to play devil's advocate.
You go.
This is people, before you just batter me in the comments, I'm playing devil's advocate here. You say we need a new right back. I'll turn around and say we've got Calvin Ramsey to come back off loan and Conor Bradley to come back from injury.
But they're not here, are they?
Not right now, but we don't just buy players just for covering injury short term potentially. Calvin Ramsey was sent out on loan. Conor Bradley is seen as someone who's highly touted at the club. So why don't we wait for him?
From what we've seen so far, and I thought it was going to be Kalvin Ramsey, yeah? All those plays, those 2 players just mentioned, they're still unproven. Like, they're unproven players. Like, they haven't shown enough for even Jurgen Klopp to say, yeah, you know what, you're going to stay. Because how I look at it is like this. Now, I could be wrong here. Kwanzaa, Klopp saw in pre-season and said, you know what? All right, I think we can hold off on the centre-back thing. I'm going to keep Kwanzaa and see how he does. I have faith in him. He didn't do that with the other 2 right-backs. He literally just said, you know what? I've seen enough. But then again, I think Ramsey had an injury as well, to be fair to him as well, so maybe need a bit of game time. But I just generally feel like we need experience and quality. Because here's the thing. I know some people think Tsimikas can be a bit of an issue at times. Yeah, maybe so when he doesn't play and he hasn't got a run of games and he's only thrown in every now and again. But at least a Tsimikas type level right back, we don't have one. We've had to revert back to the centre back that everybody wanted sold to now being the saviour backup right back who we wanted to see start on the weekend. Do you know how mad that is?
Yeah, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at this comment. I'd like to see how Cal's devil's advocate his way to say we don't need a 30. I'm going to try. I'm going to try. So you said right back, Matt. What other position?
you're gonna make me do this, innit?
Yeah, I want to know from your
All
perspective.
right, I'll be honest. So right back, I think we need another right winger.
Okay,
But it's not
right.
but it's not an emergency kind of thing.
Okay, but devil's advocate Cal
Mm.
would say, but Salah plays most of the games and wants to play most of the games, and Ben Doak is making his way into the first team. Plus, Kai Gordon just come back from injury. Plus, we know Jota can cover there in an emergency as well, so we're good there. And so can Harvey Elliott and Szoboszlai.
Mm. Can all of those players even do close to what Salah does? Any of them?
Probably not, but in a game or two where Salah's rested or we don't need him to play, then one of those players can fill in and do something.
The only two people that I can see be effective and in their own right are Ben Doak, who I still think, like I said before, I rate him, but I still think he's a little bit one-trick pony-ish, where he just beats his man and fizz it in. And people aren't gonna let me say that, and also Szoboszlai. I think he's another person that can play there, but he'll just do it in his own way because he's a powerful runner. He's quick. He's got good dribbling ability and he can shoot. It's just a different way of playing the right wing. He just won't be an inside forward. He'll just be a number 10 in the attacking right forward role.
So that's
but again, those are me clutching for things to try and make it work. These aren't necessarily, I don't know, solutions that you want to see all the time. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Oh, fair enough. All right, so you got right back, right wing. Where else you got?
I think we need another centre mid because I think we're going to lose Thiago. And even though Thiago is seen as a luxury player, he's still a player on the books of Liverpool that I still think that we could actually replace, whether that would be an up-and-coming player sort of thing or even someone and maybe a little bit more established, because I know you're going to sit there and say like, oh, we've got all these midfielders, but then you've also got to look at it's games like the weekend that kind of show you how strong is your midfield. Because what I look at is like this: as soon as you take out
we're missing Curtis Jones, Bajcetic as well.
That's what I was going to say. And what's so mad is that I'm even worried about Bajcetic. You know, he had a little bit of a setback. Same thing as Thiago. They both had setbacks.
Yeah, but devil's advocate would say we've got Endo, Bajcetic, and Mac Allister who can cover the 6. You've got Mac Allister, Gravenberch, Jones who can cover left centre midfield. You've got Szoboszlai, Elliott, Trent, Gravenberch, all these other players that can cover the right centre midfield spot as well. Do we need another centre midfielder?
When I say centre
mid, still here, and we might offer Thiago a new contract as well.
Shall I rephrase it? We could get a DM still.
We've got 2 DMs. We've got 2 DMs.
Who are the 2 DMs?
Endo and Bajcetic, and then Mac Allister can also play there.
As far as I can see right now, so I'm just sorting this out. From what I can see right now in terms of the DM thing, and it's early days, but I think stand right now, Klopp don't trust the DM right now, you know. Gotta keep it a buck. You don't trust the DM.
Devil's advocate would say you can't say that because it took Fabinho a little bit of time to get established in the team. Maybe he's doing the same with Endo.
Did it take Fabinho this long?
Around this long, yeah, to be fair.
Are you sure?
I'd say around November, December is when we start to really see the best of Fabinho.
Do you know what I want to see? I want to see obviously we're not going to do it now, but I would love to see the minutes, because if I'm not mistaken, Fabinho was given opportunity to get to that level. All I'm seeing is Endo play a game every now and again, and he'll play like half a game. And the best game he played was in the cup. Now, again, he could be adjusting to the league. It could be one of them things where he's a slow burner, where it takes that a bit of time. But I don't want to go to. Let me know when I can talk about what I really want to talk about and dissect the whole thing. Because
Klopp really rates Endo, though. He tried to sign him a couple of years ago. He wasn't able to, and he signed him now. And he said, this is from Klopp. He really wants the player, really rates the player, wants us to rate him as well.
Klopp really rates the player, yeah, so highly that in all of our biggest games, he hasn't played.
Neither did Fabinho at this point.
If I'm not mistaken, Fabinho played against
Arsenal.
Fabinho played, and I didn't like
first big game was Arsenal. And he stunk up the place.
But that's Arsenal. There's what I'm trying to say is this: Fabinho even though he started slow as well, he was given time. He was given games, Cal. Endo's not getting the same type of games, you know. This is the more worrying thing. It's almost like Klopp's just seen hot 30 minutes and gone, oof, not up to speed. All right, take him off. Because I find it kind of mad, yeah, that we've got to a point in our squad where, and I don't mean it disrespectfully, but Harvey Elliott was the first person in line to start in midfield on the weekend with all the problems that we have. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I don't disrespect to Harvey, by the way. It's just that when you go down the pecking order, look how mad it is.
Shout out to Miss V Boss. Big up Miss V Boss. Been rocking with us for time now.
Minute, yeah, facts.
Klopp. This is a Klopp quote. If he wasn't such a nice guy, I'd be playing already. But he's taking time. That suggests to me Klopp fully trusts him, but he just doesn't think he's ready to be unleashed fully just yet.
Do you know? All right. Do you know? Here's the thing. Now, like I said before, I don't want to be disrespectful to a player who hasn't played enough.
Right, let me leave it there. Let me leave it because I see devil's advocates widen you up a little bit. let's hold it there. All right, let's hold it there. Let's hold it there. When Matt says, I don't want to be disrespectful, what usually happens next is mad disrespectful. So let's hold it there. Let's hold it there.
I wasn't even going to do that, you know, but yeah.
All right, cool. So let's look at how it really goes. We need to speak about the number 6 position.
Yes,
in the summer, in fact, before the summer, we linked with Ugarte, Palhinha, Lavia, Caicedo, Decore. We got Endo. At the time, none of us were really happy at signing Endo, but we signed him. Get on board with it. We do what we have to do as fans.
Yeah.
Back in the end of August, we were linked with Decore. Hindsight's a beautiful thing. I want to ask you a question, Matt, because if I'm not mistaken, none of us were sort of blown away by Decore. I was probably the most willing to give him a chance.
Really? I thought it was me, you know. Because
remember, maybe me and you then. Drift
yeah,
was really against
I know Drift. Yeah, because Drift was like the kids talking about the fee, and I kept saying stop whining. Remember, it was the whole fee thing. Do you remember?
So, would you, in hindsight now, do you wish we had signed Decore?
He's proven. I kept on saying it.
Let's say for 70 mil. Do you wish we had signed Decore?
Do you know what it is, Cal? I don't care about the fee. I don't care. Because it's not my money. It's not the fans' money. So, like, it's our money, yes, in terms of we put money into the club. But what I mean is that if Liverpool have the money and they think this player is the right player for Liverpool, should have got him. I reckon Decore would have made more of an impact than Endo already. Whether 70 mil would have been extortionate, and it would have been, I just look at who's the better player. Who's going to do more in the number 6 position? Who's going to break up play? Who's going to cover spaces? I don't want to get too much into it because I also want to speak about, you know, what I shown you before we went live. Yeah. Like, I'll say this actually, just on this point. Right now, we're seeing Liverpool have to cope with a number 8 who actually says his actual best position is a 10. I think he even said like, but in an interview, like maybe like beginning of the season, he likes to play the 10 and the 8, and he's now playing the 6. Now he's playing that role to the best of his ability. He's amazing on the ball, and he's still got defensive nous. Believe it or not, Mac Allister is actually top 10 for tackles in the Premier League. He's actually in at number 10 with, I think, 22 tackles. I think the top person's got 39 or 36. So it's respectable. The problem is not his tackling. The problem is Mac Allister is not athletic enough to cover those spaces. And not only that, his defensive nous is good, but it's not amazing. His first thought isn't to cover space. His first thought isn't to think, if this move breaks down, where have I got to be? Mac Allister's thinking, once I've got that ball, I'm going to knit things together and I'm going to lead the team going my way. And because he plays almost, tries to be like a midfield general. He wants to control the game. But the problem is, from a defensive aspect, bro, he can't do what we need him to do. When we are caught in transition, do you know how many times players just run past him? Because he's not the most athletic. He's not the slowest guy in the world, but he's just not quick either. He's like, that is what you would call moderate speed. Yeah, moderate.
Yeah.
Bro, I'll tell you this from now. The transitions are killing us all the time. if you even look at the way how moves even break down, say we lose the ball and we're trying to get back into shape. Remember, there's even times when Mac Allister will play a ball and he'll go forward and think, oh, Trent's behind me inverted. Not even realizing like Trent's not necessarily in the CDM role, he's in the inside pocket. And it's like, bro, if this move breaks down, we're in trouble. Do you know the amount of times I've seen them man just running back, trying to chase the game? And it's not because we haven't got players that can control the game, Cal. We've got technicians. We can control pretty much most games or most teams that we play against. Brighton are one of the best at possession. In fact, Brighton, I think, had the second most possession this season so far.
Probably, yeah, behind City.
Yeah,
probably.
Bro. We had lion's share of possession if you actually look at the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, let me hold you there again, man. Let me hold you there again, because I know you've got something planned as well. Two other players we're linked with in the summer were Kone and Thuram, and now we're heavily linked with Andre. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Everyone thinks that Andre is definitely coming to Liverpool in January. I'll be honest. I feel like we've been here before with players and it never really happens. I almost feel like when there's this much talk about it, it never happens. However, let's say we go and pull off a deal for Andre in January. Who's to say that he starts to play straight away? Because if we sign him in January, let's say it's the middle of January, we might not see him fully integrated into the team until March. Because it almost feels as though everyone thinks we're just going to sign him in January, click our fingers, he's in the team and DM sorted. And another thing, he's not a natural DM either. I'd almost compare him to Thiago, but with more athleticism.
Yeah, I think he's got a bit more defensive now still as well, though, just in terms of how
I think Thiago might be better than him defensively. And I don't mean that as disrespect to Andre. I think Thiago's extremely good defensely.
Oh, he hasn't got
he hasn't got the legs like that.
Yeah. That's a good shot because he can read the game probably better than anybody. You're right. On Andre can cover more ground because he's more athletic. Andre is very, very talented. I just think that if we was ever gonna do this Endo thing, which we have done, Liverpool should have maybe looked at it and gone, should we have gone for Andre and paid that release clause and paid that a bit more? I don't know. I'm just looking at it now, thinking, but then again, he would have to adapt as well. And it's midway through their season as well. So he would have maybe been a bit leggy. So it's a hard one to call. But listen, man, I just find it kind of mad that we bought a player that's of a certain age that we don't normally go for, like 30 years of age. He's a good player in his own right. There's no denying that because he plays internationally for his for his country, and his country are no joke either. You can't diss Japan; they're no joke. And he was doing his thing at Stuttgart. It's just that sometimes though, when you do go to bigger clubs, like you have to raise your level, and like 9 times out of 10. Anyone that plays for Liverpool that's left their club, they normally step up, but you are going to get 1 or 2 that will struggle and they just can't never get there, or it just takes them a bit of time. And I'm not too sure which one Endo's at. And that's what I think is frustrating for the fan base, because if Endo doesn't become a player that we're hoping that he becomes, it becomes then a wasted transfer and it becomes frustration and even more frustration because I'm of quite a few people. He wasn't my first choice. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna say that because we signed him and go, oh, he wasn't my first choice, innit? So I'm just being honest about it.
Yeah, I hear that, guys. If you haven't already, please do smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Another thing that could be the thing, maybe Klopp sees Bajcetic as his DM going forward, and Endo was brought in to be rotation with Bajcetic and be a backup to Bajcetic. If that's the case, how would you feel about that scenario? Because again, let's be honest, Bajcetic was our best midfielder while he was playing last season.
Yeah, he was.
And around better players, could he be even better than we even anticipate? I mean, I've got him top 3 DMs in world football, but could he be number 1 if around better players?
All right, I'm going to be a little bit of Debbie Downer. Yeah, I think Bajcetic is an amazing talent, but I think the sample size is so small that we can't sit here and say he will be, for example, our starting DM, like maybe to win the league either this season or next season. But I could be wrong. There's not enough to see, because I want to see. Remember, we haven't seen Bajcetic in like all the big games, like away to Arsenal, away to City, at home at Arsenal, at home at City.
Unfortunately, we did see him away to City, and
no, but Kevin De Bruyne was just in his bag that day. I can't lie, Kevin De Bruyne was in his bag. But what I'm saying is that he's an amazing talent. I still think it's unsure whether he's a 6 or an 8 though, because he's not a pure 6. Even though he used to be a defender. Because his playing style slightly changed.
Left out on purpose, hoping you wouldn't notice. Still.
Oh, sorry. Damn. But yeah, like I just think, bro, he's such a good player. But again, the expectation, like, it's not like he got us into fourth, just him, like, and he's that guy. But you know, so mad when we first saw him this season, I think he played right back inverted, and I was like, "What's Klopp trying to? Klopp's always trying to cook up." You know, sometimes you just ain't got to put things in the frying pan. Like, you ain't got to fry everything, big man. Like, some things you can oven bake sometimes.
Yeah.
Or do you know what I'm saying? Or air fry. Everything's just oil up the thing, and just we're frying it. We're just what? Why is it always going to be a deep fry, bro? And I feel we've done it with Bajcetic. He's forcing it a bit, but. Listen, man, amazing talent. I just think I don't want to say this, but like, I think we all want to say it, but no one wants to say it. So I'm going to be the bravest one to say it.
Oh no, I've said it.
When we were looking at
together,
I mean, yeah, let's listen. If I take that hit out,
Endo's not good enough.
Yeah, from what we've seen so far. And what kills it is that when we were looking at a DM, we went from Lavia to Caicedo, then to Endo. The drop off was dramatic, however you see it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I think it's more hope now. I'm hoping that Endo can be this 6 that a lot of people think he can be. Because there's a player there. It's not about whether there's a player there. It's just that, can Endo be good enough to be a starting 6 for Liverpool, where we can see for the next 2-3 years, because he's already 30, next 2-3 years, that he can be a starter, where you look at the team sheet and go, all right, Endo's not playing. Oh, bro, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I look at someone like a Declan Rice, who you spoke about, Carl, from 2-3 seasons ago, and you were saying, I have to give you a flowers in this one.
Sorry, one sec. Before my name gets, guys, I was joking when I said that about
my days. People actually thought that.
I was joking. I was joking.
Yeah, it's mad.
That's me being a bit shameless. Chill. That's me being a bit shameless.
It's mad. And again, it's not even just age, but I look at, you know what it is about Endo? His playing style is very much like he's all like, he tries to cover as much of the pitch as possible, and rightly so, because that's his playing style.
The player he reminds me of?
Oh gosh,
Joe Allen.
I think Joe Allen actually might be better.
He reminds me of Joe Allen.
I'm not gonna lie. Joe Allen, when he started his Liverpool career, he was all right. He was all right, Joe Allen. He could knit things together and them thing there. Joe Allen was all right. I think you're doing him a disservice.
No, I don't think Joe Allen was rubbish. I don't think Endo's rubbish, but his playing style just reminds me of
Joe Allen might be clear, you know. When you think about it, Joe Allen's had some big, but again, it's your Liverpool career. Obviously, you can't base it on career, because Joe Allen has had a Liverpool career. Endo hasn't had one. He's just started his. So no, Joe Allen I like Joe Allen still. No, big up Joe Allen, man. I had time for Joe Allen still. He's a good player, man. Good player. Obviously, he wasn't of that we had to go up another level, obviously, but yeah, man.
It feels as though we've been sold an idea by Klopp, and it's an idea that it almost feels like a romantic signing for Klopp. You know, like when it would be like if I was manager and I wanted to sign a player and I go and sign for Kia. I know he's not the best player for me right now, but I wanted him 3 years ago when he was probably one of the best players around for the team. But I've got a chance to get him now, so I'll get him now. I'll scratch that itch. As a manager, you shouldn't really be doing that, though. And again, no disrespect to Endo. And I know people say, but the price, look at the price, you can write it off. We're not a team that can just write off signings like that. We're not. Even if it's 16 million, we're not.
Yeah.
But also in that as well, it's a case of, was Endo the absolute best you could have got? And the answer is no. So why did we do that? Why are we exploring? And if it's a stopgap, like a few people are saying, why have a stopgap this season when we're effectively writing off the season for the league if we're saying that's a stopgap? And I know people turn around and also say, well, Rice was 105 mil. Why there was no way we were going to go and get him. I mean, we did bid 111 mil for Caicedo. So again, I know people ain't going to want to hear it, but it seems to me if Klopp wants a player and he can convince the board to do it, they will do it. I don't think they would have had to convince them too hard to go and get Declan Rice personally. I don't think Jurgen Klopp wanted a DM until Fabinho and Hendo decided they were going to leave. And I think that may be the biggest issue. The fact that we as fans knew that we needed a DM even before Fabinho and Hendo were leaving.
But he went for Caicedo.
No, this was after they left.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. But what I'm saying, yeah. Now what you said is true. But what I want to say though is just to kind of, you're right. He didn't want a DM at the start of the season because he said I got Hendo and I got Fabinho. But then when they left, he was
about Fabinho. How?
I know. Right. But then when he left, when they left, sorry, the bit I don't understand is that you went and tried to get Lavia, but wasn't all in on him because you didn't think he was worth it. Then you go for Caicedo and you put in a world record fee. So it kind of shows there's money there, but Klopp has always been honest with us, and he's always said if the right player is there and he can convince the owners that this is a transformative signing, they will go and do that. But then he kind of also contradicts himself because he had to convince the owners to go and get this brother right here because he even said I had to kind of tell the because it's not really the what did he say? Something like he's not really the profile of the player that we go for. Something I can't remember what he said, but basically saying like how he really had to convince them because Endo is not what we would normally go for. Bro, there's probably a reason why. I don't know whether Klopp went against Schmatker and the rest of the board, or whether this is Schmatker's guy or whatever. This could be Schmatker's guy, and he's fully convinced Klopp this is the guy. But I just look at it and think, we're Liverpool, and as good as our recruitment is, there are times when we are going to get some wrong. And I look at Arsenal, I look at Man City, I look at Chelsea, who obviously Chelsea made bad mistakes, but I look at Man United, they all make mistakes. Don't get it twisted. But my point is this. If any one of those teams signed Endo, we would not be worried for a second. Even if he went to Man City, we wouldn't be worried. We'll just go, he's probably a utility player. Like, he's just there, innit? But we wouldn't be scared. Like, we wouldn't be, like, concerned. And that's how other teams need to look at us. But I don't think they look at us like that. And I don't think we look at ourselves like that with the DM that we have. That's not disrespecting him. I just don't think he's at that level of Mac Allister or Soboslai or Jones, but just in a different way. I don't look at him and go, this guy here, I think he could really add something. And I could be wrong because that can all change.
Here. If we were to rank all of our centre midfielders right now, he probably ranks the lowest.
Yeah, he does. He does. Because he's not better than all the... This is going to sound really thing, but it's not even about the game time. It's just about what I've seen.
Though, do you know, shout out to Jamie Phillips, shout out to Pimping the Stress as well, who sent me the clip. Jamie made a really good analogy. He was speaking about Mac Allister in the 6 and the Endo situation. He said, I can cook, but I'm not a chef. If you put me in a kitchen and tell me to be a chef, the likelihood is I may cook you some meals, but likelihood is I'm going to probably bottle it and burn some meals or burn a lot of meals probably because I'm just not a chef. I can cook at home. That is effectively what it is with Mac Allister. He can cook, but he's no chef in the number 6 position. Now, Endo effectively is a chef in the number 6 position. I'm not saying he's Michelin star, but at least he's a chef. He knows what it's like to be in the kitchen under a bit of pressure to cook some stuff. And he knows what it's like when people are screaming orders and saying, we need this and we need that. Yeah, I'm not saying he's better than Mac Allister as a footballer, but I will put my neck out and I'll say he's better than Mac Allister as a defensive midfielder. I would say that. So if that's the case, shouldn't he be playing ahead of Mac Allister or anyone else?
Do you know what's so mad? I actually think is questionable. And that's and again, it sounds like a disrespect. It doesn't sound like a disrespect to Endo again. What I've seen so far of Endo is he's had his best game in the cup, right? And in one of the other games, he had to get hooked off. It was in the Europa game, yeah. Against, I can't remember the team name. Was it last? Was it last? No, I can't remember. Toulouse?
Well, the last one we played.
No, it was the last one.
Union.
Sorry, Union, yeah. So he got hooked off against Union. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't looking good for Endo. It wasn't looking good, yeah. Now, Mac Allister, albeit, like I said before, statistically, is in top 10 for tackles. Mac Allister can actually tackle. He put a foot in. However, like we were just saying before Drift entered, Mac Allister can't cover spaces because he's not that athletic where he can cover a lot of ground. So when people are running at him and we're in transition and we're trying to reshape, Mac Allister kind of gets caught out, and quick movements and that he's not the fastest. He hasn't got the best agility in the world. He can still move, but he hasn't got the best agility. Endo so far has just showed me that, like, he's got a lot of heart, he's got a lot of passion, but like, and he can play a pass, actually. He can play a pass, but I'm looking at him thinking, when we're in transition, are you going to do that much better than Mac Allister? I'm not even sure. So if you're not going to do that much better, and again, I'm only going off what I've seen so far, if we're talking about on the ball, Mac Allister cleans up. So that's why it's almost like a gamble playing him there. We're only going off what he's done at Stuttgart and what he's done for Japan. But for Liverpool, and this is what we've got to do, we can't do the Gareth Southgate thing about you play well for England, so you're going to play there, but for your club, you're trash. I'm looking at Endo at Liverpool, not Endo for Japan. Endo for Japan seems like he can cook something up. He can whip up a little microwave meal, stick it in the microwave and press the button, and ding, it's there, ready. But for Liverpool, all I'm seeing right now is, do you know what? Yeah, man needs more adaptation time. So we have to wait and see, bro. I can't lie. We have to wait and see. Because as things stand right now, and I hear what Jamie's saying as well, because you'd like to think that he's a natural DM, so he should be better. But like I said it before, Mac Allister's top 10 for tackles. Defensively, he's good. He's just not good enough to be our starting six, because he doesn't have that profile where when you play him there, he's fully comfortable. When he's on the ball, calm. Off the ball is when there's problems and teams are running at us, catching us in transition.
Fair dues. Drift, welcome to the show, bro.
Yeah, man, big up. I don't know what I walked into, but that was a...
We're just talking about Endo.
Number 6. We talk about the number 6 position.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that.
What's your thoughts?
What's your thoughts on 6, bro? It's a safe space, by the way, as well. It's just us in the chat.
Yeah. I think that well, it's the whole world really, but yeah, I think
I know, that's why I said that.
I think Endo was like plan F, and all the other plans before that kind of didn't seem feasible or fell apart a little bit. But we were happy with plan F because he would have made a good like year or two stopgap. Now that Klopp's actually got him in training and he's seen him in real life, it's like only on camera. It's one of those like, yeah, you know, she looks good on camera, but then in real life, you're like, yes, it's the filters, isn't it? So probably Endo just hasn't really seen good enough once Klopp actually like got him in the door and like, you know, and maybe that's why he's taking longer to acclimatize him. Maybe it's part of the plan. I don't know. Like it is a little bit confusing now. I mean, I have always said that I think one of the main reasons why he likes Mac Allister playing in the 6 is because it allows Mac Allister to be creative from a deeper role, and therefore the other 2 players can also be creative and do the pressing and all the stuff that Jones and Szoboszlai are doing really well. And then the job of the DM won't be anywhere near as stressful as it should be, or it would have been last season, because we do a lot more work in front of the DM. I've noticed that our front players are pressing better than they did before, and we're doing the closing down a lot quicker. So he probably thought, you know what, Mac Allister's a magician on the ball from that deeper role when he's on the ball. And that will happen a lot more if the rest of the team in front of him are doing their job, which they have been doing quite well. And that's probably why he thought we won't be defending as much. So it won't be as big of a deal that Mac Allister's playing there. But it just so happens that last game, without Jones, who's been brilliant, and I think that game showed that he is kind of a cog in our system that we haven't really appreciated as much. With him not being there, it kind of, and I think it was the game, not the Europa League game, it was the Tottenham game maybe as well, where Mac Allister did look a little bit like, you know, he looked like his legs are going a little bit in terms of all that running around that he's been trying to do. And I think maybe now it's kind of like coming through that it's not really a good idea because there's going to be a lot more games around the Kosh. I know we're down to 10 men against Spurs, so maybe that's not really a good way to judge it. But just generally speaking, Mac Allister just seems to be getting caught out a little bit more because we're having less possession than what we thought we would have. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I think Endo was definitely either a squad player or they didn't realize he was not rubbish. I don't think he's rubbish, but they didn't realize that he was poorer than their image in their mind of what they thought. I think they saw what he was doing and thought, we can get hold of this kid and we can do something with him. Then they've seen him in real life and been like, he's not quite what we thought he was.
Can I just read this quote out and it preempts what I'm going to say next? So this is Klopp speaking about Endo when we signed him. I'm really happy we can announce the agreement. I'm from Germany. I watch a lot of Bundesliga. I've known him since he was at Stuttgart and liked him from the start. Last week was a tricky one. You can either stick with the problem or find a solution. He is a really good footballer, 5'10", but jumps through the ceiling. Really good in the air and generally defense. Tactically really smart, good footballer, big heart desire. He's a late bloomer. He has improved every year since he was on the proper football screen. When he came to Europe, it was not that easy. Now he has 50 games for Japan, and I don't know how many for Stuttgart. On the pitch, he turned into a real monster. He was on my screen for a long time already. I am personally really happy about it. Now let's start working. I read this out because if Klopp is this high on the player, I don't think Klopp's going to bin a player that he's this high on so quickly. This is a fully Klopp signing. I'm not saying he lives and dies by this signing because every manager can make signings and it might not work out. But I find it very, very like weird that he would sit there and not back Endo after a month and a half of being at Liverpool. Not even 2 months, a month and a half effectively. I genuinely believe he loves the player, but it's just a case of I think he's bedding him in his own way. I don't agree with it, but there must be a point because you don't speak about a player like that. He never spoke about Tsimikas like that when he signed Tsimikas. We all knew what Tsimikas was coming in to be.
Yeah, but you can have that opinion on somebody, and then when you've got them around you on a permanent basis, you realize maybe it was a false feeling you had, or you know, it was a false perception. Like, come on, let's be honest. There's so many footballers in the years and years that have gone by where we thought the player was of a certain level, and then he goes to a bigger club, and for whatever reason, he can't cut it at a bigger club. Like, I always think the intentions are good, and I think that maybe Klopp even believed what he said when he said it at that time. But then working with him week in, week out, he's realized, oh, you're maybe not as good as I thought you were. Do you know what I mean? Oh, it could be, or it could be he's bedding him in. It could be that, but it could also be he's not as good as he thought he was. Look at Kalvin Phillips. Kalvin Phillips, injuries aside, Guardiola don't think he's good enough. Guardiola don't.
But that's nothing to do with Kalvin Phillips' talent. It's to do with his attitude.
I think it's a combination of everything Guardiola didn't know when he was a Leeds player that he now knows. Now he's a Man City player.
It was his attitude. Guardiola even spoke about it and said he's come back off either injury or international duty, and he's come back overweight and he hasn't been dedicated.
But that's what I'm saying. These are still things, though, bro. So to cut you, these are still things he didn't know about him when he was a Leeds player. Because I'm sure when he was a Leeds player, he rated him. That's the reason he wanted him.
Yeah, but what I mean? It's two different scenarios, Drift. We're sitting here believing Klopp's not playing Endo because he doesn't rate him as a footballer. Guardiola rates Kalvin Phillips as a footballer. He just doesn't rate his attitude like that.
Yeah, but I don't know if we can use that as the only reason why he's not been playing Phillips, because
Well,
if
plus
you
Rodri's
don't like the attitude, but you like your ability, you'll still see some. Like, remember, it's not like he's being rude and disrespectful. He's being unprofessional. I don't think that Guardiola would sacrifice winning for someone who's being a bit unprofessional when he could just be like, look, when you're on the pitch, you do the business. Like, we'll try and sort that other stuff out. So it
he's
has
not,
to be partly his ability why he's not like Rodri's not there no more. Like at the moment,
Rodri's just suspended. But like that's the thing. He could say to Kalvin Phillips, "You're not going to kick ball then because I've got Rodri. And if Rodri don't play there, I play John Stones there as well." We don't have that luxury.
Well, the point I'm making is, whatever the reason, it's still something he didn't know when he was a Leeds player that he now knows he's a City player. Whether it be attitude, ability, whatever, unprofessionalism, whatever it is. The same is with Klopp. He saw him as an outsider, thought, what a brilliant player. He's got him in the door now, and he's like, oh, you're not quite as good as I thought you were. Like, it happens. This is why sometimes signings work, sometimes they don't.
But Klopp said he'd been watching him for years. If Klopp's been watching someone for years, I doubt he's just going to give up on them in a month and a half.
I mean, couldn't you say we've all been watching Phillips for years and he looked like his attitude was fine? He was balling out for Leeds. It looked like he was fine. It looked like there was nothing wrong with him.
No, yeah, no, I hear. Well, you could argue the injuries and stuff like. I think a lot of people thought it was a bit of a weird signing when City bought him because they could have bought other players. But I get your sentiment. But again, I think the stiff difference between the two is they've got Rodri and Stones who can play in the six, and they had Gundogan who could play there. We've only got Mac Allister and Bajcetic, who's injured at the moment, who can play there. Endo, by rights, should be one of the first names on the team sheet, but he's not even getting game time. Remember, at the weekend, if I'm not mistaken, we made 3 subs, I think. He didn't even get on the pitch.
Yeah, but I think we were chasing the game in all those games, weren't we?
No, I'm talking about the one at the weekend. It was 2-2.
Oh, the game at the weekend.
And he was brought off at half time in the previous game.
Maybe
which made all of us think he was going to start.
Yeah, the Union game, I thought he might start because remember we all debating. Is he taken off because he's gonna play in it? Remember we were thinking you never know.
We said we're not going to fully rate Klopp on the rating because we kind of got to wait to see what his plan is for Brighton.
Well, remember I said to you I think he'll go with Mac Allister because it's a big game to throw Endo into. Like it was, you know what I mean? Like the Tottenham game and the Brighton game are 2 of our biggest games, so you might have thought they were a bit too big of a game for Endo right now.
Andre, I'll quickly go back to Andre. Do you think his lack of aerial ability could be something that Klopp doesn't like potentially in the player if we weren't to sign him? Because again, Klopp spoke about this with Endo, and we've seen this. This is one thing we can say we've seen, even from just clips. Endo can win stuff in the air. Like we've seen it with Thiago. Thiago's not the tallest, but the ball goes in the air. Thiago seems to win the header. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Andre like 5'7", 5'8"? It will loses quite a lot of aerial duels, if I'm not mistaken. Could that be something potentially?
Well, as to why we're not going to get him, you mean? Or
Potentially why Klopp might steer away from getting him.
That if he does that, that's for me, that's a bit mad because that's just one person's shortcomings. Pause. Don't literally mean it, but and no pun intended. However, that's just one aspect of the game because Mac Allister, when he's having to play 6, he's not necessarily the best in the air either. You're not just thinking about one aspect. That's just one aspect. Yeah, you're right. But I'm hoping Liverpool don't think, let's not buy Andre because he's not the greatest in the air. And I don't know, his aerial success rate is only like 41% or something. I don't know, just trying to throw a number out there. Because we can't just think of Liverpool just can't think about it. There's other facets of the game. And in my opinion, Andre is a player that we should be signing. I do generally feel like if we don't sign this player, he will sign with someone else and he will go on to be an absolute baller for them because he's got all the talent's there. The talent is there for everybody to see. And now people have seen him more exposed now as well due to his team being in the competition. We should be in that race to try and get him. So I don't know if we're going to get him, but I hope we do.
Does the DM position make or break our season, Drift?
No. I'll probably say keeping our centre backs fit and available is probably more of an issue than the DM. Don't get me wrong, we do need to get a better DM than what we have, or Endo really does need to like step up. But I think keeping the defense fit and informed is more important than the DM.
Matt, if we don't sign a 6, will it set us back a year or two in our development, chasing the league?
I don't think we're going to sign a 6 personally. That's the killer thing for me. So until something drastically changes, and we've seen this happen before with other players, like when Taki was brought in, obviously Klopp gave him all the praise in the world, but then after a while, it was like, you know what? I'm sending you out on loan. Remember, Taki went out on loan, and then we sold him in the end, but that wasn't straight away. I feel like Klopp needs to identify this immediately and kind of determine whether he's actually going to give him time, or we're going to look at it and go, we just got to hold our hands up. We made a mistake here. We're going to have to this is a bad one from us, because we can't just throw away funds. We're not that team. So, but I do think the 6 will hurt us. That to kind of go against what Drift said, I think it will hurt us this season. Defensively, yes, Drift has a point in terms of players being fit and whatnot. That's cool. But I think we've got more defensive.
I just don't think it'll be make or break.
Yeah, no, I think we make a break because I feel like we've got enough defensive cover to kind of get through that, especially having Kwanzaa, like what Drift would say. So like we got players there. The centre back, we got players. You see the CDM spot is so delicate. Endo's not hit the level that he needs to be at, or we haven't seen anything just yet. Thiago can't get fit, and Bajcetic can't stay fit either. We have an issue, guys. We actually have an issue. It's the number 6 spot that's more glaring than anything. Because like I said, we can control games to the best of our ability. But we're not perfect, just like how no team's perfect. When a move breaks down and we get caught in transition, we are scurrying for our lives. Because we realize we haven't got that enforcer there, or that someone that's got that defensive now that can break up play very, very quickly and we can regroup. There's times when I'm seeing players running, Mac Allister's trying to get a tackle in, he might miss a challenge or someone else, and it's like, oh crap, we're on the attack. And then they played it to the wing, and then we're caught in now one-on-one situations. Like, we've seen what happened in it. We know what can happen.
Gonna stay there then, Matt, because this is your time now.
Right.
Could it be a case of we're sitting there speaking about the 6, but even if we go and sign a better 6, yeah, the personnel might improve, but ultimately is the tactics, is the structure, is the system of how we play. Is that the bigger issue at play here?
It could very well be, which leads me to the part of the show that I'm looking forward to. So, we ain't seen this for a while, have we, guys?
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, man. Klopp playing the 4-3-3. This is what we've been playing. And then obviously this normally happens when we're in possession. Everyone goes forward. These two normally stay there. Trent or Mac might potentially go forward, right? I've seen with this formation that when things break down, what would happen is, I ain't done this for a minute. Let me see if I can remember. Cool.
Jeez, man's drawing the lines in though.
All that normally happens is this person here will just play a ball, and it says bare isolation. Kanate's then got to do. We got to then do this. We're caught in too many one-on-one situations, because what we will also find as well, caught in transition as well. Mac Allister sometimes even goes forward, and Trent will be the one there. And that ball, that ball that's there is problems in it. We don't want to see that. So here's just one thing that I thought of, and I'm sure everyone's already thinking of it. So I'm no mastermind. This is just me giving my opinion, and probably a lot of other people's opinion as well. So we're doing the whole 4-3-3 thing, yeah? And rightly so, to a degree. The players there are talented and it can normally work, yeah? What I'm saying is this now. If you just say, for example, right now, as things stand, Curtis Jones is suspended, and we're not too sure about Endo, why can't we do a 4-2-3-1? It is that simple. The 4-2-3-1, in my opinion, will give us more stability because Gravenberch is press resistant. If Mac Allister wants to join up, Gravenberch knows that his role is to be a bit more disciplined and stay forward. And not only that, this here, yeah, so whether we're pushing them back and they want to play that ball again, let's say Trent goes inside. In fact, let's say Trent goes forward and wants to join the attack. Gravenberch and Mac Allister, one of them will always kind of patrol this area. Yeah, that would then allow Kone to go across. Gravenberch can just slot back in, or whether it's Mac Allister or Gravenberch. It is so simple for me. Not only that, yeah, I just feel like going forward as well. So let's say, for example, Trent is here, Mac Allister's there, and say Gravenberch is there. So let's move these guys across. Just knowing that you have someone there and being a bit more mindful. Let's say Mac Allister has that half space and Trent's also where we still got more defensive stability like that. See, if we do get caught, Mac Allister can go there. But what I would say is Mac Allister don't go wide because he hasn't got that pace. It'll be Gravenberch that will be able to control with his athleticism. I just feel like it gives us a bit more options. And not only that, another thing to think of as well, yeah, is in the 4-2-3-1, you can even do this if you want to. Because I've also thought about this as well. Salah can be the one to go and join up with Nunez because Salah's the one that likes that half space at times where he can go left, he can go right. We know Salah likes this inside channel, but Sobo being a hard worker can also help Konate going backwards as well. That's another option to think about as well. But yeah, man, it's just food for thought. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I personally feel like 4-2-3-1 should be at least the formation we have while we've got Curtis Jones out. And not only that, defensively, it would help us. And Endo, that gives him more time to be ready. Because right now, he's not ready. What are you lot saying about it?
Do you want to go first, Drew?
There's nothing wrong with what you just said, Matt, in terms of like how you broke that down. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. One thing I will say, though, is I think as fans, sometimes we always forget the reality of scenarios, and we're all guilty of it because we're not in the day-to-day, right? If you look at certain scenarios of things that have happened over the last, say, like 2 months, there's been a lot of times where we've all sat back afterwards and gone, you know what? We thought something, and then what Klopp did, we've realised was actually right. And at the time, we were getting annoyed or shouting for no reason. We should have trusted in him. He's Klopp. We should have known he knew what he's doing. I think people keep on getting worried and the PTSD kicks in of last season or whatever, and then it makes a lot of people think anytime he's doing something that they're not quite sure about or they don't agree with, Klopp this, Klopp that, Klopp this, Klopp that. You see with this formation thing, I think one thing that we keep forgetting is if you want to be good at a formation and if you want to actually win something, it doesn't really work if you keep doing the choppy thing. Now and again, yeah, you can. But if you want something to work, as in you want a philosophy to work, you kind of have to just be bold. You have to be brave. You have to stick with it, and you have to give it time for everybody to get used to it.
So you're saying stick with Endo?
We haven't. No, I mean the formation, because you know you was talking about the inverted thing, and it's been one of the reasons why we've had a lot of conversation where we're like, hold on, why is Bajcetic playing right back, or why is Joey doing the inverted thing, or whatever? But these are all part of trying to stick to the same philosophy,
bro,
and working around the philosophy and working around the system to perfect it and get better at it, rather than every time there's an injury, you change everything. Because if I'm being honest with you, that will mean that there's so many times throughout a season where we have to change the formation or the tactic if it's based on an individual being able to play that role.
Bro, Man City are the masters of playing 2-4. Bro, you see Man City, yeah? In fact, I'll say, this is going to sound weird. At times, they can be formationless. It's not about their formation. It's about the personnel and link-up play. Like, players just know where to be at the right time. This is more of a
We're not City, though, bro.
No, but hear what I'm going to say. Hear what I'm saying. What you're saying is this: stick with the same. You're saying stick with the same formation, yeah. Cool.
No, I'm saying this is why he does.
No. But what I'm trying to say is this, bro. We can't just stick with things if things aren't working. Right now, 4-3-3 is not working, especially when the personnel's not there. So Curtis Jones, who's a key player, is not there, right? So Curtis Jones ain't there.
No, but Matt,
Gravenberch, no, hear what I'm saying.
how
Let me
can-
land. Let me land.
no, but I don't think it's not working.
Bruv,
A draw with Brighton and a cheat loss to Tottenham, and before that we're unbeaten. I don't think the formation is not working.
no, bro. Hear what I'm saying? Attacking wise, we are amazing. You see, defensively, bro. How many times have you seen Ali have to make a big save because we're getting caught in transition?
Allison's had
Come
to
on,
be
bro.
world class.
Allison's probably made the most saves in the Prem
Yeah,
already. And I don't even know
Allison
that
was
stat off
even
the top of
doing
my
that
head.
when we were playing 4-3-3. Ever since VAR came in, we
do
played
know
a high line. We relied on Ali.
Ali's save ratio is something like 80% at the moment, which is insane. You know,
it's crazy. Bro,
like Allison is overperforming at the moment. We can't expect him to play like this for a whole season.
No, I agree.
But
we do. But since VAR came in, guys, we played a high line and relied on sweeper keeper. That was when we were playing 4-3-3.
Do you know what's so mad? The high line's not even really. It's not even the high line that's killing us. That's not.
What I'm saying is we've always relied on Allison's ability. Even when we won the league, we've always relied on Allison's ability.
Save percentage is mad though, Drift. It's all right. So I'll switch it around. If we were winning games and I don't know, flipping Mo Salah was scoring goals at 80% ratio, it looked great. But you then go, if the goal, and he's the only one scoring, yeah, but we're still winning games. You'd sit there and you'd go, Salah's doing his thing and it's great. But if his goals dry up, then we're going to dry up with results. It's the same. If Ali's save percentage even drops to like 65%, which is still very good, we're sitting there going, "Raw, we're leaking goals now." The fact that he's faced the most shots, that's a system thing.
That's why I brought this up, Cal. 4 out of our 8 games have been down to 10 men.
Yeah, I hear that. But even in the games where we've had 11 men, even the games before we've had sending offs, we've seen defensive and structural difficulties. We've gone down first in most games this season, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
the issue. That's
but that's more of a slow start, right? Until Tottenham, we hadn't conceded a goal in the last hour of a game.
But that's still tactics, though, Drift.
It is.
So, and where you're saying like Klopp's playing the same system regardless of personnel. Again, I'll use an example Matt used earlier. Certain foods you fry in the frying pan, certain foods you put in the oven, certain things you boil. You can't just put rice in the oven without doing the necessary.
This is what man's doing, bro. Man's doing this.
It's not just one size fits all. And this is where the frustration with Klopp comes in, because he's way better than what he's displaying at the moment.
Crazy, bro.
If we've got players who are good at certain things but not good at other things, Klopp used to be a master of saying, well, we're going to switch up the tactics today. Remember when Ox used to play wing? He didn't play wing the same as Mane. Klopp changed the philosophy. Klopp changed the system, and it got the best out of the team. Same when Ox would play on the right. Same if Naby played in midfield instead of someone else. It's a case of he's just doing it and saying, right, I don't care who's playing today. We're still going to play the exact same tactics against the exact same teams. And it's not working for us. And you've got to be tactically flexible. The best have done it. Fergie done it. Ancelotti done it. Guardiola, Mourinho.
That's what I'm saying.
Klopp at his best might have still kept 4-3-3, but there'll be tactical nuances that would change, that would stifle the opponents. We're not doing that at the moment, Drew.
We're not.
But in what way, though? Because I think the slow start isn't a tactical thing. A slow start is the mentality of the players, which I agree needs to change. But it's not a tactical thing, because we continue to play the same way and then we come back into the game. And then for the most part, we ended up still winning the game. We even talked about it in the Brighton game, right?
Do you remember
the personnel changes have been absolutely bang on the money, but it hasn't necessarily really ever been an actual system or tactical or formation change. It's been, okay, this player in this role hasn't quite worked. I'm gonna bring this guy on. I'm gonna bring Elliot on. I'm gonna bring Jota on. I'm gonna bring Gakpo on, and they're gonna do the same role, but they're gonna do it differently based on their individual ability. And then we've changed games with that. We've still stuck, for the most part. I mean, we've been down to 10 men, so those don't count. But for the most part, we've stuck with the same philosophy, but the players have just grown into the game, got better in the game, and there's some tactical changes in terms of the substitutions of work, and we've come back and we've won the games. I don't think we've really changed the formation or the tactics. It still has been the same. So
they've worked against lesser opposition, Drift, but they haven't worked against the better opposition.
well, Newcastle we're down to 10 men, so we can't really judge because we were down. Tottenham we're down to 9 men.
And that was individual brilliance that got us through that game.
But again, we were down to 10 men from about the 20-something minute.
And before,
can you remember how we went down?
Remember how we were playing before we went down to 10 men, no Drift. Think that's what I want you to think about.
Yeah, the slow start. But you
keep on saying the slow start. But I believe we're conceding goals also because of how we're tactically set up.
Yeah, I agree.
Not just walking out of the dressing room thinking, we'll just ease into the game. I think there are tactical issues as to why we are conceding first sometimes, and then we're starting to get used to it a bit more, and then we're just overwhelming teams because we have the personnel and the quality to do it, as opposed to the tactics are spot on for minute one, and we're just roasting teams.
But we did against Villa. We roasted Villa from day one.
So Boszalai got a fantastic opening goal, bro.
No, but we were still all over Villa. There was no point during that Villa game where they looked like they were going to win.
After we get the first goal, we're calm usually. But if we don't,
but you're also forgetting as well how many chances did Villa miss? Do you know how many chances Villa missed? About 2 good opportunities they should have scored. You know, McGinn's one.
But everybody has chances.
But what I'm saying is we're conceding chances like that because there's times when, like I said before, in transition, bro, we just get broken up way too easy. It's that simple. I feel like it's an issue for me personally. I don't think it's just a slow start. That game wasn't for me a slow start. That's what normally happens with us. There will always be points in the game where teams just break us down way too easily. Like they have too many shots on goal for my liking anyway. And I feel that we can be better at it. We're not going to be perfect because obviously we haven't got that DM that kind of can be that guy. He can be that general. So what I'm saying is, there are just ways you can negate that. Negating it is either personnel, negating it is tactically as well. Either way, one has to change because you're saying, because we've done this thing from the beginning and it's working and we're going to 10 men, that means it's working. It's working to a degree, but it's also papering over cracks as well, bro. Now, don't get me wrong, we won games 3-1 and things like that. However, think of the goals that we've conceded and how we've actually conceded. You know, I think we've only got 1 clean sheet this season, if I'm not mistaken, in the Prem. 1.
Yeah,
and
but
that is kind of mad still. You can do the 10-men thing. We can do that as well.
Are we also forgetting about the fact that...
I know.
Yeah, 4 out of 8 games.
I know, but some of them have just been bad defending, though. You know, like some of them have just been like, we got caught, like...
Are we also forgetting this is a brand new midfield? This is a brand new team in terms of them being...
How many of them did we go down 1-0 when we had 11 men on the pitch?
Tottenham was 0-0 when we went down to 10 men.
That was the only one, if I'm not mistaken.
Newcastle was 0-0, wasn't it, when we went down to 10 men? What, were we already losing when we went down to 10 men?
Yeah, remember?
No, I can't even remember.
Yeah, we were. We're already losing.
When we against Bournemouth, was it 1-1 when we got the red card?
But we conceded first in that as well.
But it was 1-1 though in the game.
No, I think we were winning 2-1 at the time.
But
so was even winning then.
Billing and then Mande. Solanke.
We've got to factor in brand new midfield, which is almost a brand new team. I think context has to be added. So that might be, could you remember, it's never been done before. A brand new midfield, all playing together at the same time, has never been done before. So there's a lot of teething problems that are going to happen. Maybe this is part of the teething problem. It's a formation the whole team has only been playing for 8 games back in the last season and now. So it's a new formation to everybody really that we're still trying to get used to. That there's context that has to be added on top of all the other things that are factual things as to why maybe we're starting slow, why we have let in a goal. Do you know what I mean? Like it isn't just literally the system's wrong and the tactics are wrong. So that's the reason why this is happening. There's a lot of other things that have, you know what I mean, that play a part in all of this.
All right, what I'm going to say is this quickly, yeah? You see, when we were going for a bad run of form last year, Klopp had to think of something, and that's why we done the inverted thing, innit? The inverted thing was to help control games, and it was to help us, you know, be better from a defensive point of view, and it worked, bro. Here we are now. We're still here. He changed the formation, for last season, and we're running with it this season. So it's not like this formation has been 2 years in the making. It happened because we were in dire need of making a change because it just wasn't working. Now we've made that work, and now we're seeing, okay, cool. It can work, but we're still seeing like errors of like, whether it's a personnel error, whether it's a tactical error, but we could make adjustments, right? All we're saying is, bro, we can make adjustments. Whether it's the personnel, because let's keep it a buck as well. Mac Allister in this number 6 role is actually going to drive me crazy. I think the player is being held back. Obviously, he's not probably in the greatest form anyway, but like him playing that role, you can tell like he wants to go further forward. And his first thought isn't thinking, I need to be careful. I've seen Mac Allister so many times start a move and actually go forward. I'm thinking, bro, you're the DM today, you know. You gotta, in my brain, I'm thinking you gotta get back a bit. But that's his natural way of playing. So therefore, what I'm saying is this: if he wants to do that, sorry, Cal, just quickly, because if he wants to do that, all I'm saying, bro, is remember the 4-3-3 is just a slight change. All we're saying is this person is going here, to support Nunes, and these two are just dropping back ever so slightly. And sometimes Mac Allister will be able to go forward, and Gravenberch will just step in a bit. And then let's say, where's Trent?
I've seen us do that in
You
games.
know what I'm trying to say? No, but what? Where's Trent? So
we went to a pivot against.
So say
was
Trent.
it
No,
Bournemouth?
we could even do this, bro. Look, you see this? You see this right here? Yeah. But just know that when it breaks down, you've got the insurance there. You get what I'm trying to say? Gravenberch will be that insurance. Remember, he's not a natural DM. I'm just saying, for argument's sake, can't we try something
kind
a
of
little
what we
different?
do, but you just make that Mac Allister instead. That kind of is what we do.
No, but here's the thing, though, bro. If this is the problem I'm trying to say to you.
So you're thinking it's a personnel issue rather than a formation.
If Mac Allister is the last one back and the move breaks down, we're in trouble. He hasn't got the legs to cover the ground. He's not the slowest guy in the world, but he's not the I'd rather a Gravenberch be there. Just for personnel.
So that's what I mean. So it's more of a personnel problem you have than a formation problem.
It's both, Drift, because if you haven't got the
personnel
personnel to execute the system, then you don't play that system.
It's a bit of both.
And I think that we have been quite flexible in the formation, maybe being forced to by going down to 10 men. But I remember against Bournemouth, we did actually go to a pivot, and it was Jones and Soberslide that was playing in a pivot. Against Newcastle, we went to a pivot, and it was Elliott and Soberslide. We kind of have, to a degree, been flexible in what we've done. But if you look throughout games,
that's sort of been forced upon us because we've gone down to 10 men as opposed to reacting when we go down, for example.
It has, but we've done well with that formation. So with 11 men on the pitch, who's to say he wouldn't have done it and it could have worked even better?
Because it wasn't working at the time. And you're right, we don't know what could have happened. But at the time where we're conceding these goals and playing these teams, it wasn't working. I just want to say in the chat as well, a couple people, this is not a Klopp in versus Klopp out thing here, by the way, people. Like, not one of us have mentioned Klopp's getting sacked or should he be sacked or shouldn't be sacked. There's no space or room for that in this debate. Like, I can speak for Matt and Drift and myself when I say none of us want to see Klopp sacked. We all want to see some sort of change but we just want it in different ways. Like, we're not saying here that I'm right, Matt's right, Drift's right. We're expressing our opinions, not like this. It's not one of those toxic conversations where we're doing anything like that. So, like, respectfully, if you're getting into your feelings about thinking that we want Klopp out or Drift is being too pro Klopp, I think you're missing the point of this conversation completely at the moment, guys. So we're literally talking tactics right now. And if we want to get really technical, it's not just Klopp who does the tactics either. It's Pep Linders as well. So it's not one of them conversations. We just want to see what could potentially be best for Liverpool right now, given the personnel, the lack of a 6 that Klopp seems to trust as of right now. We're just trying to work on that at the moment. So let's not draw it into anything else. As we move off this topic, though, one midfielder we haven't seen this season is a midfielder who, I'll be honest, if he's a fit and available, we might not even be having this conversation right now because we might be top of the league with a few points to spare, and that is Thiago. However, with Thiago, it's not even an elephant in the room. He is the elephant. Like, the injuries and everything, it's mad. And he's had another setback. There's actually talks of Thiago getting a new contract.
Is there?
There has been, yeah.
Yeah, there's talk of it.
I've had a shit day. That's a good.
No, this wasn't today. This has been from a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Guys, is it time now? Is it time for Thiago to move on? Forget about the talent. We're talking about the overall player. We can't just speak about the talent and just ignore everything else now. We got to speak about the entire package of the player. Pause. We got to speak about the entire player himself. Is it now time to move Thiago on? Drift, you're saying no. What's your reason?
It's Thiago.
Be objective here, Drift. Like, let's be real.
No. All right. Let me try and
be objective, Drift. Be objective.
Because a lot of people will look at scenarios, like for example, and I'm not pointing fingers at Matt. I'm just saying it because it literally happened in his show where Matt was saying, look how, for example, City can blah 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 blah, and using them as an example, right, as to like why that's working and is something maybe we should implement. Using the same logic of like looking at other clubs, everybody has a player in their team who is kind of injury prone, or there's a bit of an issue with the player, or for some reason that player just doesn't play anywhere near the level of football that he should. Sometimes it's talent, sometimes it's injuries. Like it all depends. Like you've got Elneny at Arsenal, you've got Phillips at Man City. Before you had, when Chelsea had all of their midfielders or whatever, there was Kante just constantly getting injured all the time. Like loads of clubs have got like players because there kind of is always going to be that one person in the squad because that's just life.
Apart from Kante, and even Kante when he left, are those players game changers, Drift? Are they needle movers?
No, but the club is putting up with that player being the way he is for some reason. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what the reason is, but Man City didn't get rid of Phillips. Arsenal haven't got rid of Elneny. Like, for some reason, these players, they're just still always there. They're always around. But, like, it's kind of like with Thiago, because Thiago is so much better than those players I've just named, I'm not saying it's good that he's like this. I'm not. And I totally understand people's frustrations. I really do. But I think when you've got a player that is so good, when he does play the 15, 20 games a season, which I think when we went through it before, he's averaged 23 games a season for Liverpool. So it's basically half, right? Which is low. I get it. It is low. But half, when he does play those half. But here's the point. When he does play those
for them stats there,
he adds a lot in the half that he does play. Do you know what I mean? I think, if I'm not mistaken, he played 27 games starting, and then a couple of sub appearances. I think it was 33 appearances in total the year we nearly did the quadruple, right? And we played 66 games that year. So it was literally half the games he participated in, whether we starting or off the bench. But we all came out of that season and we were like, Thiago was brilliant. Yes, it's mad frustrating that he only played half the games. But the games he did play, he was cooking. He was brilliant. I think sometimes you can have a player like that if the rest of the squad is up to par. That is okay. It's not ideal. It could be different, but we're not talking about an Elneny where like you kind of scratch your head out. Why do Arsenal just keep keeping this guy around? Thiago adds something when he plays, and he's a really effective player when he does play. So as long as everybody else is fine, I don't have a problem with having an experienced guy around, winner, good for the changing room. I know people laugh at that, but we did lose a lot of that when we lost Flacco, Endo, Milner, all those guys go. So he is still good in the changing room, good with the young players. You can blatantly see Bajcetic is learning from Thiago. Like, even in the way he plays, you can just tell Thiago being around him in training is helping. And then when he does play, he contributes. And if you've got all the other guys pulling their weight, who cares if Thiago only plays half the games? We've got Grav killing it. We've got Matt killing it. We've got Soboslai killing it. We've got Jones killing it. If he sprinkles here and there, and who cares?
All right, I'd rather have an Elneny type of player in my squad who's injury prone than a Thiago type of player, because you've effectively got one of the best players in the world who's unavailable for most of the season, as opposed to a player who's not even that great who's unavailable for most of the season.
Yeah, but that's an actual waste of space, Cal. If you're not even really that good and you're taking up a space, that's actually a waste of space.
I think
I'd rather that situation, because I'm always going to be living in the what if Thiago played. I don't ever hear an Arsenal fan go, do you know what? If we had Elneny for those 3 or 4 games, we could have really pushed City for the league, you know? I'm sitting there saying right now, if we had Thiago for maybe 2 or 3 of the games this season, we could be sitting top of the league right now. So if that's the case, I'd rather have an Elneny and not have that hope in my heart than a Thiago and have that hope.
Nah, that's wild still. I'm not going to lie.
Why is it wild? Thiago's on 200k a
Because,
week as well.
because Elneny's an actual waste of space, bro. We're here moaning about Endo, and that's
But
kind
Elneny
of
doesn't-
what
Elneny-
Endo's
but that's-
becoming.
All right,
into.
I think you're saying
Elneny's
it
not
wrong.
important or integral to their team. Thiago is important and integral to ours.
No, I don't think he's integral anymore, Cal. He was integral when we had Hendo and Milner and all
Who's
them, man.
better
We've
than
got a proper midfield
If
now.
Thiago's fit right now, does Thiago start in this midfield? Yes or no?
I don't think, not the way Jones and Soboslav
No.
playing.
If Thiago's fit right now, who does Klopp look at and go, that brother Thiago can't start ahead of him? If Thiago's fit and on form, who?
No, but fitting on form, yes, it would be him. But I'm just talking
Alright.
about realistically, Jones has been playing so well that
and that's my
Thiago's
point.
not actually integral.
No, but that's my point. If we're sitting here saying if he's fit and available,
He walks in it.
he walks into the team,
Yeah, I
he's
think
integral.
we're
If
getting to that
Elneny
horrible
is
point.
fit and available, Elneny still probably doesn't even make the bench for Arsenal.
But that's a waste of space to me.
Whether it's a
At
waste
least
or space or
Thiago,
not,
at least Thiago is.
Thiago is what we should be playing.
Do you know
with
how you're
every
looking at
single
it?
week.
Do you want to see Thiago only like 30 to 40% of a season? Or would you rather have an Elneny where you might see him for like 60, 70% of the season? But he's obviously going to be nowhere near as good. I think that's how you got to kind of look at it, because you've got the lesser player who plays more, or the player that's world class but just never fit.
All right, this might be a weird analogy, but run with me. You know how my brain works. If you had a small room and there was a TV in the room, yeah, and it was getting in the way, and you kept banging your toe on it every time you went in the room, and you're like, I've got to get rid of this TV, man. This TV's getting on my nerves. It's always in the way. But the TV works and it's a good telly, but you've already got one that's better on the wall. You're thinking, if that one breaks, at least I've got this spare. You'll put up with banging your toe. If that TV that's in that room is broken and it don't even switch on, you dash it. You would never put up with it taking up space when it don't even work. Thiago's the telly, that's brilliant, but you've got a better one.
So Thiago doesn't work either, though.
He does.
Drift.
Half the time.
I was just about
No,
to
he
say,
doesn't work half the time, Drift. He doesn't.
He does. He plays half the games a season.
this season is kind of mad still.
No, this season is different. We've got to go
this season, but this season is the broken TV. And you're thinking,
he's still getting over surgery.
All right, let me add to your analogy.
He's not getting over surgery anymore. He just had another setback.
Now, let me add to your analogy.
No, but that can happen, bro, when you're coming back from major surgeries. Look what happened to bloody Neto. Like, Neto had a whole year of setbacks. Like, when you come back from a bad injury, that can happen.
Neto because of his injury record. We've got a player with an injury record just as bad as Neto's.
No, Neto was the type of injury he had why it was a risk. It wasn't the injury proneness. It was the type of injury.
From a hip injury playing in a Klopp midfield, bro. At the age of 32, or is he 33?
No, 32.
I don't know many more risks than that. That's like me slapping raw meat on my back and jumping into a lion's den, bro.
If Thiago's the broken TV, yeah, are you going to get the TV fixed, Drift? Even though it's going to cost you a bag of money. Because remember, it's the wages. So imagine this, yeah. He's the TV that's broken, but it's going to cost you a bag of money. Are you going to do it now? It could break down again.
All right. So that's where I'll add a part to your analogy. That's sentimental. Your granddad bought you that TV.
You gotta stop this. Nah. See? I'm not having that. You're
being biased.
The TV.
You're being biased. You've just been caught out. You know you've been caught out, but that's why
I'm adding sentiment.
Gottman this one.
No. I'm owning up to the fact that
Granddad bought a TV.
No,
the TV
because I have sentimentality.
It's a chain or something. It's a TV, bro.
I have sentimentality with Thiago, and I think the club does too. So that's why I added sentimentality to the.
Basically, what you're trying to say is this: the TV. You know, if the TV is going to cost you that amount of money to get fixed, Drift, you know we're going to hate it, but you're probably just going to be like, I ain't getting that fixed, bro.
Nah, if my granddad bought me the TV, I'll get it fixed.
Oh, stop it! Man said TV, not even like, I don't know, flipping Something that's really sentimental. Man said TV, bro.
No. If your grandparent
Yeah.
buys you something, it don't matter what it is, there's sentiment attached to
I
it.
understand that.
Drift, I would keep the TV in the loft.
But it's broken.
But I'd buy a new TV.
You would
No,
have
you've
to,
already
innit?
got a TV, Cal. This is the spare.
No, Drift, this isn't the spare. This is the TV we've been trying to
No,
use for the
Thiago's
last
the
3
spare,
years.
bro. We've got Grav, we got Mac, we got Sobo. He's the spare TV now, bro.
So why is it still in the room then?
Because if the real ones, if the main TV breaks, it's the backup.
So why don't we put it in a different room then?
We haven't got space in the other rooms. The TVs work in those rooms.
So if this new TV's never let us down, why are we keeping the old one then?
Because anything can happen.
Because he's sentimental, man.
Is it sentimental?
It's sentimental, yeah.
But there's
That's
no
what
space
it
for
was.
sentimental in football, bro. We've seen this. We've seen how it's done us in the past. We're doing the same mistakes again. So
No.
All right, Drift. I ask you then: should Thiago get a new contract?
If he's on reduced wages, yes.
I can't believe we're even having this debate, bro. I've got to stop you there, bro. It should have been a straight no, Drift. I'm not
No,
gonna
if
lie.
he's on reduced wages, then
This
yes.
is wild.
Where's that picture of me and Thiago still?
This is wild.
Yo, Thiago, man, you know that's what love, brethren. Yes, I've been shapeless. You know that's what love, fam. Big up Thiago.
I even spoke to you lot about something private that I can't really speak about on the stream now about how much I love Thiago.
Yeah, I know.
Boys, I can't see Thiago get a new contract extension. That's wild. That is wild if that happens.
I don't think he will, though.
I mean, if it's up to Klopp, he might.
All right,
I don't.
all right.
You know, yeah, I don't know.
What? All right, let me give you a scenario. We buy a really, really good DM in either January or the summer. I'm not going to say name. That's too much of a. It brings more to this than needs to be. But we buy a really, really good DM. We're talking Lavia and above level DM, like a really, really good. No, a Palhinha level DM. We buy a Palhinha level DM.
No, don't do this to man because shooting many
I'm
is
a dream.
balling out. You know.
I know.
Yeah, no, but I didn't want to say a name.
They
But
said it
anyway.
back at the weekend. Different. You know?
So we buy a really, really good level DM in January or the summertime. And Endo improves enough that we realize he's a good squad player. We're like, you know what, he's not really a star, but you know what, he's actually proven himself. He's a good squad player. He actually
Who's
is
improved? Sorry, who'd you say? Sorry.
Endo proves himself to be a really good squad player, yeah?
Yeah.
Then you factor in the fact that we got Bajcetic, the young Don, who's going to come back and continue to improve. That's the defensive situation. Kind of all right? That's Bajcetic improving every day. Endo getting up to a certain level where he's a squad player. And then we buy a really, really good DM to be the first team DM, yeah? If you add Gravenberch, Jones, Soboslai, and Mac Allister to that list of really great, reliable eights, what would be wrong with Thiago being the eighth midfielder, which we know Klopp likes to have 8 midfielders. We pretty much always kind of have had 8 midfielders. What's wrong with Thiago with his quality being the 8th back of the line, but when he plays, he can affect the game midfielder? What is actually the problem?
I'll tell you what it is. I'll be honest with you.
As
As much as
injury record
Yeah.
and salary.
But if your 8th choice, is it that big of a deal that you only play
to
half
us,
the game?
if we were ran differently, let's say that we had deeper pockets, yeah, like, and we were like a Chelsea or Man City where the money wasn't really a factor, maybe we could, because we'd be like, well, we know our budget's kind of mad anyway. Thiago picking up those type of wages don't really affect us, but we know how it is, Drift. Remember, we were the kind of the first people to kind of be like, you know what? Not say Liverpool were never going to give Salah that world record Liverpool contract, but it kind of coincides with Mane also leaving as well. Mane potentially even wanting a new deal at one point as well. They were never maybe going to give it to both. And Liverpool always like to use their money very, very wisely. And you know what I'm saying? So I think it's the wage, bro. I think it's and not only that, bro.
Do we care about that?
But
We
Endo
only
as
care
well.
about that because our
'cause you
owners are
said-
tight.
No, I care about because of the message it sends to the rest of
But
the
you
team.
also said as well, Endo is also going to improve. But that's still like, we don't know. Like,
But
it's
what-
still an if and
What,
but.
Cal, with all
I'm
due
saying.
respect, what message? Because the rest of the squad, no, yeah, his availability is quite like thing, but none of them can even talk to the man. The man is a legend
That's
of
not the
football.
point, bro.
Like,
If I'm working in a sales role and I'm in every day grinding and working, and someone comes in who's a better salesperson than me, but only shows up, I don't know, 5 days in the month and is on triple the wages I'm on, I'm going to have an issue with that.
But what if that guy is a world-renowned, been doing it for years,
don't
best
matter,
at what he
you're
does?
not available.
That's not the
If you
point.
just
Why
rock
should I?
up to
Why
work
why
every now
should
and
I
again.
work or do things twice as much as someone else and get paid 3 times less?
Because you haven't accomplished that stuff. He's getting that reward for being an accomplished person who's done it all.
So if that's the case, should we just bring Gerrard back then and put him on a fat salary as well?
Obviously not, bro. But if
So
Gerrard was
that's what I'm saying, it's
33 years old, we would put
contracts.
Gerrard on a big contract.
Contracts are what you've done in the past, but also what can you do for me in the future? Right now, at the moment, Thiago's not showing he can do anything for us in the future.
But I said I think it should be a reduced wage. I'm just saying I don't think the wage is that big of an issue. I don't think Curtis Jones can turn around and go, why don't I get paid what Thiago gets paid? Brother, because you ain't achieved nothing to what he's done.
He might not say that now. He might not say that now, Drift, but let's say we go and win the league and Curtis Jones is like one of the main reasons we win that league.
Then you give Jones a pay rise.
Jones could turn around and say, I want that Thiago money.
Well, if he was that integral, he deserves it.
And then other players are going to start doing that as well.
Not necessarily. I think the Salah thing kind of proved that nobody else moaned about wages at all once Salah got that.
Bro, you were one of the advocates for that, remember?
Doing it now, bro.
Salah's doing it for that.
When has Salah not been doing it? Salah's the worst example you could use, bro.
No, but what I'm saying is we were worried that Mo getting that money might make Van Dijk knock on the door, it might make Allison knock on the door, it might make the other world-class players go, what is going on? But none of them have.
Yet.
No, but bro, come on, man. It's over a year now. Like, we're doing too much. Like, what about is
pay rise this summer?
Allison got a pay rise this summer.
Allison deserves a pay rise.
Apparently got a pay rise this summer, apparently.
All right.
I'm just saying, if we had money the way other teams have money, we wouldn't care what Thiago's wage was. We only care because we got FSG as owners.
No, we still would. I see Chelsea fans do it. Man City fans do it. They do it. Man United fans do it. We're not the only club that does this.
No, but Man United have got players on 350, 400. Like, that's mad, isn't it?
But
200 in the Premier League is like a base good player salary.
Just on
how much? 200.
200 grand is like the base. I'm a good player at a top team salary.
No,
base. What? No,
it's a base. You know, like it's like the average top player salary at a top club. 200 grand a week. It's the average top player salary.
Top player, no, they got.
It is. If you go to all the big teams, their average top players earn around that much. Maybe Chelsea's different because they've gone for all these kids now. But before, that was the same. Tottenham, I bet Son and all their top players are all on 200 grand a week.
How much do they play Drift and contribute on a weekly basis? That's my
point. No, I do get that argument. But the point is, Thiago is who he is. He's an established, world-class talent that, yes, it is really infuriating he doesn't play more, but he's earned the right to be who he is. And I don't think it's right for someone like Curtis Jones or Harvey Elliott or one of our young bucks, even if they're playing really well, to compare themselves to Thiago money-wise and go, bro, why does he get that? I think I should get that. And I think people like Mac Allister, they keep performing, they will end up on that. So they won't have a problem anyway, because they will end up on that money, because they deserve that money. So I don't really think it's that big of a deal if one man in the team who's an exceptional talent gets special dispensation. Because you don't get many Thiagos in the world.
I know, but why should anyone in a team get special dispensation?
He's had one amazing season. He's had one season. He's had one season.
No, I mean, he's earned it over his career.
No, but forget about his career. Liverpool.
So what have you done at Liverpool? What have you done? What have you done in it at Liverpool? That's how I'm looking at it. And I look at it like, bro, he's arguably the most talented player that we have in our squad, yeah? But he's just not available. Bro, do you know how frustrating it is to know that you've got someone that good? But fam, we ain't seen him since April.
Yeah, but because we've got a good midfield now, it's not that big of a deal.
Do you know what it is as well? Do you know what I said to Cal? I don't know if you joined at this part. It's so mad that like we had one suspension, which was Curtis Jones in midfield, and already we're drawing for Harvey Elliott. because Endo isn't ready. Yeah.
No, but that was choice. We had Gravenberch.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say Gravenberch was the only other one, but Harvey Elliott's already kind of part of that rotation. Thiago should have really been there, right? Thiago should have played against Brighton. These are the type of games that I expect Thiago to like. So when someone's injured, Thiago, you're about.
Yeah, in an ideal world. In
We'll
an
just let you
ideal
play
world.
one game every 2 weeks so that man can just make sure you're right. But we can't even do that, bro. Bro, you think I want to sell Thiago? No. But I also know the fact of we've kind of, even though our playing style has kind of slightly moved away from him a little bit. Like, I'm not saying listen, Thiago can boss up the thing, but he can't. I don't think he could even do what Mac Allister could do right now. Not especially this current Thiago. Maybe Thiago from last season before. But this Thiago now, you'd have to play the left-sided 8, I guess, if you're going to do the 4-3-3 thing. Get caught in the transition, and my man's chasing his own shadow, bro. It's going to be mad. I don't know. I just worry about Thiago.
I don't know, mate. Like I said, I know there's definitely an element of sentiment that's within my mind, and I totally understand where people are coming from. Again, that's what I'm saying. It's a conversation. Like, for example, I remember when Man City kept on sticking with Company. All right, I know he was captain, so it might have helped a little bit, but Company was just so injury prone. He wasn't playing that many games. He's probably like Thiago, like 20 games a season or something like that. And it was only when he got to about 34 or 35 when they went, yeah, let's stop renewing his contract. Because there was just something about having Company around that still meant something, even though he wasn't.
He was a symbol for Man City, though, bro. He was the captain.
No, I get that is a little bit different. I get that's a little bit different. But the point I'm making is that there's some players that are just special that you kind of make an allowance for. That's a bit different.
I hear that as well.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's nowhere near as big of as a comparison. But for some reason, Man United just don't get rid of Martial. Martial don't play for Man United. But what's crazy is when he does play,
one of the owners, that's his favorite. You know, one of the Glazers, that's one of his favorite players, and that's why they keep giving him. I swear to you, it's not a joke.
The crazy thing is, though, last season, as an example, Martial actually did make them better when he was playing. His availability was just trash.
Bro, he was trash, innit?
No, if it wasn't last season, it was the season before.
He was injured as well. He was injured.
No, he wasn't there last season.
Instagram post or something.
No, he was there last season.
People want to have a go at me, but they don't know the injuries I've been through. I can't even run.
No, I know he was injured, but what I'm saying is there were times in the season when he did play, and he actually made Man United better, even though it was just every now and again. You could actually tell they were playing better when Martial was there. That must be why they kept him around. Because his injury record is the worst I've ever seen.
I'd say Rashford was more the game changer, but yeah, I mean,
do you get what I'm saying? Like, and Martial's a bad example because Martial's injuries have been horrendous for about 4 years now. But for some reason, they keep him around because when he does play, they feel he brings something to the team.
I think if you ask most Man United fans, they would want to move on from them. We've had
Thiago for 3 years now. That's only 1 year less than Martial's injury record.
Yeah, but I think Thiago's injuries, the first season was the assault from Richarlison, and the season we nearly won the quadruple, he was really like involved in that season. I know it looked like he only played half the game statistically, but Thiago was really important in that season.
He played 21-22 season, he played 39 games.
Yeah, see, 39 out of 60. You know what I mean? So he was even though he wasn't available.
Just took the words out of my mouth.
No, but Naby Keita.
He one more game. I'm just saying.
No, but Matt, Naby Keita was very involved in that season.
And
that
Naby Keita,
I know.
No, but the point Matt's making, Naby Keita was still roasted for not being available enough.
No, Naby Keita was also getting roasted for his performances being poor as well. Let's be honest.
That season, Naby Keita was very good.
But then the following season, his performances, the odd time he did play, weren't good enough, and then that's when everyone was like,
Last season,
Klopp didn't play.
Last season, you could say the same about Thiago. Thiago's
he didn't play. Remember the whole contract thing, and then I remember I said to you,
Thiago was our best midfielder last season. It wasn't hard, but he was our best midfielder.
The bar was
very low.
No, but what I'm saying is Thiago was still our best midfielder. It wasn't hard to be our best midfielder, but he was still our best midfielder.
No, I know, but funny enough, remember I'm not going to get into it now, but remember that whole debate of when we was going for the treble, I kept on saying that Naby had a better season than Henderson. I just thought he played better. I think one of our best midfielders. But everyone used to always say to me, yeah, even if that is true, but his availability is always going to be a problem. And I understand ability-wise, Thiago literally, it's night and day, isn't it? Thiago. But availability just comes down to availability, no matter how good you are, how great you are. If you are not available, it's the most frustrating thing. That's why, like, for Thiago, it's the most frustrating thing. If this was any player, bro, we would just, we'd actually be like, get rid of him. But because he's so good, there's that part of it that's just like, hey, it's better to have him than to not have him.
And that's exactly what I was saying.
Not playing, bro.
But and just like you said, if he was rubbish, it would be like, yeah, this is a waste of space.
He's not playing.
And again, I don't mean to use Elneny to be disrespectful, but I do think Elneny at Arsenal is surplus to requirements. If we had Elneny in the team, I'd be way more annoyed at having a player that's here for no reason than a player that I can understand why we're trying to keep faith with him, because we know what he can do once he's back on the pitch. Like, I don't know. That's just me, innit?
Well, people, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Should we be offering Thiago a new contract? Yes or no?
I know that's going to be an overwhelming no.
I'm glad you asked me that question. I ain't answering it.
We do.
Final question before we head
Horrible
up the super
question.
chats and head off, boys. Are Liverpool in a top 4 race or a title race? Matt, I'll start with you.
If we can galvanize ourselves and beat Everton and give ourselves that bit of faith again, then yes, I think we can be in a title race. If we drop any more points within the next, say, 10 games, which is probably going to be very likely in the Prem, then I might have to say top 4. And reason being is because Arsenal and Man City are just that bit better. And I know Arsenal beat Man City, and I also feel like Arsenal, this is the thing though, Arsenal can beat Man City, which they've done, but I also feel like Arsenal could lose to Wolves, for example, just like how Man City did. But Man City will go on a stupid run of games where like you'll just be like, oh my days, they've just won 15 games in a row, and Arsenal will just drop 1 or 2 games, or like maybe a couple of draws or something, and Man City will just run away. With us, I feel like because this whole tactical thing and personnel thing is a little bit of an issue, I'm not sure how Liverpool are going to cope, even when, like, it comes to is it the Afcon this year? Is it Afcon this year?
Yeah, I forget about that.
It's Afcon and things like that as well. So I'm a little bit worried about how we're going to cope. Now, we could surprise ourselves and go on an amazing run ourselves because we are capable. However,
Who we got going to Afcon?
Salah.
No, apart from Salah, who else is
apart from Salah, bro? Take Mo out. Should we take Mo out?
No. But like, so the way you said that was like it's really going to affect. Like, there's going to be about 3 or 4 players going. So I was thinking, whoa,
so it's 3 or 4 players at the moment, bro.
Oh, and I think there's someone said something about the other is thingy going away. Endo's actually going away. All jokes aside, Endo's actually going away.
Asian Cup potentially, yeah.
Asian Cup. And I want to say there's somebody else I'm not thinking of, but I can't think of them. No, maybe it's just them too, because Matt didn't get reinstated to the Cameroon squad, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll just say there's no Salah then. We'll just say no Salah, but
yeah.
Salah is obviously key, but I think it's just more about can we bounce back? I thought we would bounce back against Brighton, and we didn't. So it's already like we're playing catch up already. Now it's only like 3 points, I believe. It's just 3 points. However, we can't drop more points. Like, it might only be a draw on the weekend, but we know how crucial that is if we want to be in a title race. And I just feel like without that, going back to the start of the show, I don't want to talk about it again, but without that DM who I can trust at the moment, I think it's looking like it could be top 4 more than title. But I'm hoping that the team proved me wrong in it. So,
Cal, don't shout at me. But I feel different every day. So I'm going to tell you how I feel today, right?
All right. I woke up and wanted to fry
something. Stop, bro. I'm not going to shout you for it. I just want to hear why you go through this stuff.
Just being very political.
So this is how I feel
Yeah,
today.
taking over bacon.
This is how I feel today. Today,
bro.
I feel like, and I hate that saying. I hate that saying. But today, I feel like we are as bang on to finish
It's
third.
giving. It's giving.
Huh?
It's giving. Today. It's giving.
Yeah, yeah. Today, I feel. So I think we're the most bang on to be third you've ever seen in your life.
Yes, I agree.
It is the most concrete third place team you have ever seen in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main reasons why I think that is because, for example, the Afcon is going to massively affect Tottenham, and especially with the Asian Cup. So that means Son, Basuma, and Sarr are all going to be missing for about 3 or 4 weeks for Tottenham.
Lovely.
Tottenham cannot deal
Good
with that.
point. They can't.
Tottenham cannot deal with that. I'll tell you for free.
They got skipped.
Oliver, this ain't twist through, bro. So they're gonna really have to
Bentoncourt's coming back. To be fair, Bentoncourt's sick.
Yeah, if he's back, if he's
bro,
back, if
he's a bully.
form,
I like Bentoncourt. He's good, you know. But
he's got to find form though. He's been out He's been out as long as Thiago.
No, but didn't he mash up his Achilles or
Yeah,
something mad like?
I can't remember.
It was a bad injury.
I'm not gonna have his Achilles. He I don't want to say this, but that when you do your Achilles, it's different. It's not.
Yeah, you never come back the same.
Yeah.
And then Man United, you just don't know if they're going to fix up enough to be able to mount a real thing, right? So I think we're the most concrete third.
Tripod at the moment, let alone.
But here's the mad thing. Here's the part that changes all the time, Cal. So that's the part of me that will always be the same. I do believe we're just as bang on to be third as you've ever seen. This is the part of me that keeps changing. It's the part that, are we going to get involved in the title or not? This is the part that keeps changing for me, because it does depend on the forwards and the flexibility with the rotation of everybody staying fit. And it also depends on what happens with the others. I truly do believe what we've seen with Man City without Rodri and De Bruyne shows that without those two, the drop-off is about 30%, which is a big drop-off that I don't think we all quite realised was how much those two were influential. We knew they were important players, but I don't think we quite realised just how much they are an effect on Man City. And if you need proof, Man City without Rodri lost 3 games in a row. Because they were playing well without De Bruyne. But De Bruyne and Rodri, they've now lost 3 domestic games in a row.
They can cope with missing De Bruyne. They can't cope with missing Rodri.
Yeah, no, they can't cope without missing both. So
no, they can get away without De Bruyne, I think. But no, sorry to take away from you.
Yeah. Arsenal are yet to know what it feels like to play without Declan and Saliba, who I think are their Rodri and De Bruyne. Because even though Odegaard and Saka are brilliant players, I think Arsenal's problem is always going to be defensively. Do you get what I mean? They've got a lot of options in attack that I think Trossard can come in and he can be all right. They can be all right about Saka. Like they've got my man Vieira, who not to the same level, but he could come and play the Odegaard role. They've just bought Havertz. He's supposed to be able to do Odegaard's role. I think in attack they're quite stacked. It's Saliba and Rice that, for me, are the two that we don't know what Arsenal's going to be like without them. So there's a lot of factors that we will see that may unfold throughout the season that are going to be able to give me a better idea just as to what's, who's, where, and why with all of this stuff. Do you get what I mean? So I think it's a bit early right now. I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans saying things like, because of this victory, it's the boost they needed. And of course it must be a boost. But beating Man City in a one-off game doesn't mean you all of a sudden now should get carried away. Liverpool beat Man City last season and we beat them in the Charity Shield. We literally did what Arsenal have just done. We won our first home game against them and we beat them in the Charity Shield. Look how bad we were last season. Beating Man City doesn't mean... Server,
you disappoint me.
Completely different scenario. This Arsenal win yesterday was more reminiscent of when we beat them in 1920 as opposed to beating them last season.
No, fair enough. But this is also a Man City team, Cal, that just lost to Newcastle and Wolves prior. So why are Arsenal acting like it's so great that they won the game in terms of
because
the
it's massive.
overall effect on the season when what should Wolves start getting ahead of themselves?
No,
No.
because Wolves haven't got a chance of winning the league. Arsenal know this could be the difference between them winning the league and not winning the league. That's a massive result.
No, it's a big result, but I think to act like, yeah, we can win the league now because we beat City is a bit naive, in my
I don't
opinion.
think, and the reason why I say it's not is because you, as you said, it's not just losing Rodri and De Bruyne. They lost Gundogan as well. I think people forget what Gundogan has been for Man
No,
City.
that is true. That is true.
If I'm not mistaken, Arsenal didn't lose any of their main players, and they brought in Declan Rice. Timber got injured, unfortunately for them. Like, I hate to say it, and I hope to God I'm wrong. This is not the banner Arsenal anymore. They also have banter moments. Like, don't get me wrong, but this isn't the banner Arsenal anymore.
Agreed.
Like, Saliba's showing he's of that level. Gabriel can step up when he needs to. Like, Rice is Rice. Partey's back now. Like, it's a big result for them. Like, I hate Arsenal. I do. I hate them. I hope they crash and burn like they did last season. But this is a different Arsenal because it's a different Man City as well. This is the season. If you're going to catch Man City, this is the season to do it.
Yeah,
and this is why I'm so annoyed in
so.
the summer.
Yeah.
Why we didn't
Yeah.
really step up. This is why. Remember when we signed Gravenberch and you two were like, Cal, are you happy? And I'm like, I'm happy. And you're like, but you're not showing it. And I was like, because we still need more in it. That was the reason, because this was the season to catch Man City.
You didn't say what you just said there. You said it wrong. You was happy we got Gravenberch. You just wasn't happy that we signed someone else.
Wow. Throwing me under the bus like that.
Bro. Listen, it's just us in the chat. We're just us in the chat. We're just talking. Yeah,
you know when you're speaking and someone just plays like an audio recording over the tannoy system.
No, because you know what it is. I'll say it.
No, I'll say it. We signed Endo, and I was very disappointed because I think we needed a better DM.
As well. That should have been if that was.
I'm going to switch it around.
If that was a Declan Rice. Yeah,
I was going to just say, if we had signed Declan Rice and Arsenal had signed Endo, who's in the conversation for winning the title this season? Liverpool or
and
Arsenal?
How good is Saliba looking when he's having to do a lot more work? But anyway,
this was the season to catch Man City.
But anyway,
serious,
that's the reason why. And again, a lot of people in the comments, like, they are right as well. I didn't even really think of that, but it is a true point. The depth of the Champions League, if Arsenal go far into the Champions League, will take a toll mentally and physically on the squad. You don't know how that will affect them, etc., etc. So there's a lot of factors and there's a lot of things that we have to consider that I think right now might just be a bit too early to truly know while going for the title race. I definitely agree with you though, Cal. If there's any time to beat City, it's now. That's a fact. That is 100% fact. And it is annoying that we're not quite fully ready to pounce and actually be the ones to take that next step. But at the same time, I still believe that we can. Can we be better equipped for it? Yes. But can we still do it? Yes. Because I will still argue to the day, like not to the day I die, because every season is different. But I will still argue to the ends of earth for this season, our first 11 is better than Arsenal's. Squad depth, all the other stuff, we can start having conversations about what you think here, there, and everywhere. First 11, I think our first 11 is better than theirs. So it just all depends on a lot of factors moving forward, and we're going to have to see what goes on. And that's why, can we win the league? I feel different every day. I feel different every day, can we win the league? But we are as bang on to get third as you've ever seen in your life. Or top three or whatever.
I think we have a better starting 11 than Arsenal, but I think their unit, as a unit, I think theirs is better.
They just got a 6, bro.
No, it's not just a 6, but
it is.
Again, I've got nothing against Jones, but Partey is better than all of our 6s, and Rice is in a different league to Jones.
No, you're looking at it wrong. If we had a serious 6, it'll be Mac Allister.
Yeah, I know,
and
but it's not though. Matt.
That's why it's the 6. Give an example. Let's just say we got sounds silly. Actually, let's flip it. Let's say we got Declan Rice. Declan Rice, Mac Allister, Soberslide.
That was my dream.
Yeah,
that was my dream.
Arsenal have Partey, Endo,
Rice, and Odegaard.
No, because we got Rice. Give them
Oh.
give them Endo.
No, you don't have to give them Endo, bro. Just say Vieira, Odegaard, and Partey. That would
Or
be their
Havertz.
three.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Havertz, Partey,
You know that's not gonna. You know that's they would even
Rice
look
was
at that
the
and
game
go.
changer for them.
He is the game changer for them.
Everyone
He's
said
the equalizer.
105 mil for Rice was too much. It was crazy. He's going to potentially be the reason why
He's
they win the
literally
league.
just a 6. They haven't got a better player than Salah. Salah still for me still the best player in the league.
But Saka's probably
Best
the second
player.
best in that position.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We can do this thing. Nunes or Jesus. I reckon Nunes will get you more goals than Jesus. Yeah, but I reckon Jesus is for me. Jesus is a better player, but Nunes is a better goal scorer.
Yeah.
So again,
I'm good with Nunes getting more goals than being a better player in that situation.
There you go. Diaz versus Martinelli. See, the thing is, Martinelli for me has had a good last season, but the season before that, what's he been doing? Martinelli
Martinelli, I think, is like the Nunes Jesus argument.
Yeah, worst player, better statistic.
He'll get more goals than assists.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. It's hard to do player for player.
I think their midfield is better than ours in every position.
Sobo against who?
Do you?
Odegaard. I've got to give it to Odegaard right now. I have to. It's fair.
No.
As of right now,
Odegaard isn't better.
Are you picking? Yeah, but you're picking Odegaard for what he's done for all. You know, like you see, like
what he's doing. I'm trying to be as objective as possible.
Okay,
so
yeah, I'm
like
trying to be
my favorite Liverpool player.
No. What I'm saying is this:
Odegaard is a beast.
No, what I'm saying.
No, Odegaard's brilliant, but
he's amazing. What I'm saying is this season, I'm saying Szoboszlai has made more of an impact. But maybe he's had to because we've gone down to 10 men. So, all right, then. Let's just say, all right, cool. Then you've got the next...
I'm talking about as of right now. In a year's time, I think Szoboszlai could be better. But as of right now, I think I have to give it to him.
Mac Allister, who would you compare him to in their team? Who's their second?
Are
you talking if we have Rice or we don't have? Because we don't have Rice.
No, we're doing it. We don't have Rice.
So if we don't have Rice, then Rice is better than... As a left centre midfielder, he's better than Jones or Gravenberch right now.
No, but
Rice doesn't play there. Rice plays holding.
No, now he will because Partey just come back from injury.
But Partey was fit before when he was at right back, so we don't know that.
But that's why I said let's just do a trio because it's hard to do the whole exact. Let's just do trio. You would say as a unit, Arsenal's is more. They've got more solidarity in there. Yeah, because Rice for me is the game changer. Because Odegaard and Szoboszlai can do their thing. Rice is like the glue because he's the controlling DM. So even if we're gonna put Partey there, we put Mac there. So even if you're gonna say Mac Allister and Partey compare one another, differently, Rice is still the equalizer again. Then we go to defense. I think Andy Robertson's better than Zinchenko, and I think Virgil van Dijk is still the best defender in the league.
He's better than Gabriel, yes, he is.
But then you go to Saliba, who I think is absolutely immense, and even I'll be the first to admit. Saliba, if he continues this trajectory, I can't lie to you, in the next how many years or so, we'll be probably looking at maybe the next best defender in the league. Potentially. He has that potential. Just like how Ibu does. The difference is for me, and like I said in the chat, this ain't even to wind people up. Ibu has had injuries. Saliba hasn't had injury. He had that one injury last season. One injury. But he didn't have niggles throughout the season. And not only that, with Saliba, there's a difference when you have a DM, bro. When you've got a DM that can help put up fires and not only that control space, we have no DM. We've got Mac Allister in the transition compared to Declan Rice. And you're just going to be face on all the time. But anyway,
I say something that hurts me to even say?
I know what you're going to say.
I think Konate is the more talented player. As of right now, I think Saliba may end up having the better career potentially. One, because of injuries, and two, because of our system.
I agree with that.
I think if we get a better DM, I will go back to.
It's not just DM though; it's right back as well when it comes to Konate.
Yeah, true.
He can't be Trent's bodyguard for his whole career,
have to do until he's there, innit? Yeah.
Plus, have to do it. He's basically doing the 9 to 5, and then he's also working the night shift as a bodyguard. He's going to burn out.
No, it's true because I look at but if you look at the way how
don't have to do that.
Exactly. The way how Saliba and Gabriel play together, knowing that Rice is there, they work as as a trio. I wish I could show you, compared to us, it's so different. Us is chaos. You know when teams break through.
The unit. Hence why I say the unit.
You're
Man.
right.
So
That's
even
what it's chaos.
how
It's chaos, bro.
many times did we sit there and go player for player? Henderson, there's other midfielders better than him. Fabinho, I won't say that with. Genie, you could argue there's other midfielders better. But as a unit, no one could touch us apart from City.
But
So
that's
even
because
though
Arsenal's
on
unit
paper
have
we
been
might have better
together longer,
players,
isn't it?
it's the unit, bro.
Arsenal's unit have been together longer, so I agree, Carl.
I'd
As
even
Klopp
say a
said,
right
this
back.
is year one of this new team.
I'm telling you, the
Again,
way
people
how
ain't gonna like me saying this, but right back, as of right now, Trent is way better as a footballer than Ben White. But if we're just talking about right back,
no,
I'm
but for
taking
them,
Ben White.
because for the system, they don't have a marauding.
I don't think Ben White's been playing right back, has he?
He has been.
Yeah.
Hasn't it been Partey and
There was an
Tomiyasu?
injury to
Little
Ben. There was an injury for Ben White, but I think if I'm not mistaken, it's mainly been him. He's who you would consider their main right back. It's so mad, yeah, because if you wanted to do the inverted thing for Liverpool and you used not inverted, sorry, but if you just went to a back three, you just went because Zinchenko does their inverted, innit? Ben White is theoretically is a hybrid right back / centre back. He's basically what Joey G.
For us.
He's basically what Joey G. We thought Joey G could kind of do, and if you just go to a back three, but we don't have Zinchenko, we have Trent, so we can't do that. It's like if Trent was left-footed, it sounds weird. It would work because say Trent was the left back here, and it's gonna sound so weird, and he inverts, and then you got Gomez playing right back or it's right centre back with Virgil in the middle and Konate. I'm telling you, that would cook immediately. Because you've got the centre back who can play right back, going to staying at the centre back. We're just lopsided. It's the way how it works for us. It doesn't work. It'd be just having to put out fires and do everything. So yeah, Saliba's got to do one thing.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. After just going through that first 11, I'm even thinking about the squad, and I'm thinking we might even have a better squad than Arsenal.
Even the goalkeepers don't even compare, bro.
Like, we actually might even have a better squad than Arsenal. And I'm thinking about the fact that we do actually have Jota, we have Gakpo, we have Gravenberch, we have Matip or Konate, depending on which one's playing. We have Tsimikas, we have Gomez. Like, I'm actually looking at the bench and I'm even thinking we might even have a better squad than Arsenal.
Bruv, if you go to the bench, we've got Gakpo and Jota on the bench.
This is what and Gravenberch. This is what I'm saying, bruv. Like, we might even have a better squad than them.
But you know what we don't have? This is gonna availability.
Yeah.
We've been shafted, remember, by 2 suspensions. Jota shouldn't have been 1, and Curtis Jones was questionable. Yeah, or you know what I'm saying. So 2.
Oh yeah, and if he fits Thiago.
Yeah. It's mad, bro.
Virgil shouldn't have been suspended either, by the way.
It's actually mad, like.
Yeah, he did now.
I'm telling you, when you
and you know what? People can keep on laughing at me all they want. We want to talk about defense, yeah. They've got flipping. What's his name? Who begins with a H?
Who?
Not Holgate. What's the guy they've got at their defender that? Oh no, he left, didn't he? He went Crystal Palace. Holding, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, he left.
Do you know, you just made me realise if we've got a better squad than Arsenal, is it our tactics drift?
Yeah, if that's the next question I was going to ask. If everyone thinks we've got a better squad and better starting 11,
and listen, this isn't me going back. Do you remember when I said to you?
We're further behind in our development, and they have, as you said, a 6 that gives them stability. Because if we had a proper DM, we'd have stability.
I agree, but also again, because we don't have no DM, it's like we're doing that copium thing, innit?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's like, okay, I get you want to invert Trent, I get it, but sometimes we can go back to the older system because now we've got better players. We don't have Fabinho Henderson anymore. We've got Mac Allister and Szoboszlai. So the team can actually function differently. We've got runners off the ball. We have one very, very powerful runner off the ball. In fact, we've got 2 now, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. People that can run past play, break lines. You know, we used to say back in the day, like, No one runs past the ball. Everyone just wants ball into feet, lay it off for the strikers. They're going to do what they do. And maybe that was the game plan. But now we can actually be a bit more expansive.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
telling
a
you.
good point. And it's our lack of chemistry due to everybody being so new and everything being all new.
That's true
innit?
as well.
Like,
That is true as well. There's a few factors, but it just goes to show you that, like, the DM spot, you know, we're going back to start a show again. It is so crucial.
do you lot agree with me now when I say, and let's just say, not even trying to throw Endo under the bus. I'm just using logic. We didn't sign Endo. We kept Flacco. I believe we would look so much better.
He can't keep up with play
Flacco's
either.
never gone, bro.
He can't keep up with play. However, just him
Flacco's
being
been
more.
getting moved to in Saudi, bro.
Has he? I've heard he's been
No,
playing
don't
well
say
over there.
that. Is he really?
Fav's been getting moved to in Saudi.
I heard he's been playing well over there. I don't know. I haven't been
Yeah,
paying
yeah,
attention.
I've only seen one game that he played. Benzema was cooking up the place, but listen.
So you don't think we'd have been better off with Flacco than Endo?
At this point, I would have rather paid 70 million for Decore.
I
And
don't know
overspent.
about that.
I would have
man.
overspent. I would have overspent. I would have overspent for a better player who's not worth 70 mil, but he would have done a way better job. He would have allowed the others to go and flourish.
Yeah, but if you'd have bought Decore, that would have meant he's the plan for the next 4 years. You spend
But how do
70
you not?
mil.
But how do you not know that he could actually be very, very good though?
No, I'm not saying that he
How do you
wouldn't.
not know Endo and Bajcetic aren't the plan for the next 4 years, boys?
I think Bajcetic is. Endo isn't. Endo's not the
Do you know
plan.
what? Do you know what? Actually, you
Why
see,
do
we
we-
wanted to.
Is that us hoping he's not? Because
No, that's even just based on his age, Cal. We haven't got any player who's 34 and still a first team mainstay.
Klopp wanted Milner to have a new contract.
No, but he wasn't a mainstay. He was a bit part player. Who's ever been 34 in a Klopp team and been the first in the first 11?
Say again, sir.
What 34-year-old has ever been in the first 11 under Klopp?
I'm not saying he's got to be in the first
If
11,
Endo
but
got a
if he's the
4-year
plan for the
contract.
next 4 years, he's effectively Bacetic's
Oh
backup
my
for the next 4 years, potentially.
4 years, bro.
No, I'm saying if we'd have paid 70 mil for
Hopefully,
Decore,
it'll be right.
he would have been the starting DM for at least the next 4 years because 70 mil is a lot of money.
It is,
You know
bro.
what I
But
mean?
I actually feel like he would have been good though. Very, very good, in fact.
What's he doing at Palace? I haven't been paying attention. Has he actually been playing well?
I'll be honest. I haven't really watched Palace. I'll be honest. I don't know.
I'm not even trying to make an excuse for him. Hodgson ball ain't it, you know.
I
But
haven't
it's
really watched this. I
defensive
don't know.
though, Cal.
No, it's just
Generally
not
speaking, it's
No, but
defensive.
they look horrible from what I saw of their last game, and I ain't seen many games of Palace.
That
just
not
look
in the
horrible
Forest game.
compared to the
Oh
season
my
before.
goodness, bro. Oh my.
He's
I
not the
fell
problem,
asleep
bro. He can't
6
put out
times
every
during that
fire.
game. I fell asleep 6 times during that. Almost bun up
Wow.
food because of that game. That game
All
was
I'm saying is
tough.
this: if there's no listen, I understand that we wanna back the players that we sign, and rightly so. No one's not saying that back them, but sometimes realization does kick in. The realization is that, in my opinion, I do feel like we just went for the wrong player. I just think we went for the wrong player, man. Like what we was expecting when we were going to sign the DM at one point was a Lavia or a Caicedo. That's what we was expecting. That's
Or
what we.
Nugarte.
That's yeah.
Do you know the mad thing is, man? This might come across a bit arrogant and a bit disrespectful, but it is what it is. I reckon we just go and get Basuma. Tottenham
How
can't
are we
stop
gonna
us.
get Basuma now?
What?
Tottenham can't stop
Bro,
us.
Are you?
Because Levy's easy to negotiate with,
It's
yeah.
the
No, but
hardest
we just pay what they want. We just
Because
pay what they want.
our owners do that, yeah.
Well, if they're willing to pay 115 on Caicedo, let's drop
How old's
115 on
Caicedo?
Basuma.
How old's Caicedo?
He's only 2 years younger than Basuma.
You are smoking.
Isn't Basuma
Evergreen, bro.
23?
No.
No, he's like
How old's
25 or
Basuma?
something. 25.
Basuma is
26?
27 years
Is
old.
he that old?
He's
Yeah,
27
25,
years old.
26. Oh, he's 27.
Oh my god, is he that old?
Yes,
Oh,
bro. He's
shit.
27.
Raw.
Caicedo's 21.
Yeah, all right, maybe that. I didn't realize he was that old.
Disparity, bro.
I didn't
That is
realize
very
he was
mad.
that old.
You know what,
Yeah.
though? I would say this. I'd rather we even would have done the stopgap, and he wasn't even my first choice because, again, Palhinha.
Well, he signed a new contract. So.
No, I'm just saying.
He signed a new contract after the
Before,
window.
during the winter, summer, we could have got him if we really wanted to. But apparently,
it's
age.
the same scenario as
He's
Basuma.
younger than
He's
Endo,
28.
fam. He's younger than Endo.
But he's 28 and he would have cost over 70 mil, so it's the same scenario.
No.
About
Brian,
six,
we're going to get him for about 56.
Matt,
was
you have to add 20%
yeah,
English tax, bro.
Yeah.
You have to
It
add
would have been about
tax.
60 mil for us, Matt. It'd have been about.
Would you have paid 60 mil?
He would have been 70, you man. He would have been 70. He would have been 70.
Matt, you know my vibe. I'm on this. I'm on buying the best player for now, and then see where the chips fall.
I'm telling you right now, you man are watching the money too much. If we had to pay 60 mil for my man, you know we wouldn't.
No. We're watching FSG. We're watching the way FSG move, man. That's why we do it.
But this one is about funds for me.
It's FSG. We're also
this one about
watching the way
funds.
Klopp and Pep move as well.
This is the
but FSG are the ones who facilitate the money for
Caicedo. Klopp is the best negotiator.
He managed Caicedo's 21, Cal. Paulinho's 28. You just said it yourself.
He managed to get Liverpool to pay 19 million for Endo.
FSG didn't want Endo. FSG didn't want Endo 3 years ago. They definitely didn't want him this year.
But he's only 16 million. That's not a lot of money.
16 rising to 19. We're watching pennies.
Regardless of the price, bro. Klopp wanted him. Klopp got him. Klopp wanted Szoboszlai, Klopp got him. Klopp wanted Mac Allister, he got him. Klopp wanted Gravenberch, he got him.
Klopp also wanted Lavia, and they didn't want to pay 50 mil.
All right, I'm glad you mentioned Lavia, because I'll be honest with you. The more it looks with the Lavia thing, is that Klopp was and ahhing with that as well.
No. Klopp wanted Lavia, and the club were dilly-dallying, bro.
Bob, he just dropped 150. We dropped 111 on Caicedo because he just knew straight away. He didn't have that. No, it's not that he didn't want him, but
that's got nothing to do with Klopp. Klopp didn't do the negotiating.
No, but the urgency wasn't there. What we're trying to say is this: if Liverpool really want to play, they'll go and get the player. You know, they'll go and get the player.
And the board didn't think Lavia was worth it,
bro. Lavia, the board thought at that particular point is not worth that amount of money because we can't justify Bajcetic being a year younger than him or whatever it is, or they're close in age and like even experience. So we can't really pay 50 mil for someone.
Klopp not that sold in him for the sake of 5 mil. Like,
that had nothing to do with Klopp, man. Like that was all the board. That was like and the recruitment team of Schmacker and all them, man.
Szoboszlai cost more than Lavia, by the way. And that got done like that.
Instant.
Yeah, but that was because they felt he was worth it. It's all about the board thinking, is the player worth it? And they didn't think
Lavia was worth it.
But this is what I'm saying, where we can't just separate FSG from Klopp. FSG didn't think Endo was worth it, but Endo's still at the club.
Yeah, but that was easy to do, Cal, because he was cheap.
But regardless of if it's easy or not to do, bro, FSG didn't want him.
Yeah, but the point remains: if Endo cost 50 mil, if Stuttgart wanted 50 mil for Endo, he would not be a Liverpool player. The only reason FSG went, go on then, is because he was cheap. If he was 50 mil, FSG would have stuck to their guns, and we would have not signed Endo.
You just allowed the this is another thing as well. Like, we got to stop doing this whole because he costs like a packet of crisps. That is okay. It's not okay. You know why?
No. That's not
because those packet of crisps belong to us. That's what I'm trying to say.
No. That's not what we're saying. But we're saying it was easy to convince FSG to let him have him because he's cheap.
It weren't easy. Klopp even said it weren't easy to convince.
All right. The reason he got his way then, I should say, is because Endo's cheap. If Endo cost 30, 40, 50 mil, he would not be a Liverpool player. I'm telling you, look. Trust me, he would not be a Liverpool player. But 16 mil, they're like, fucking all right, go on then. We trust you. Go on then. I'm telling you, if he costs more, Endo would not be a Liverpool player.
I'll be honest with you.
It is the board
if Klopp really dug his heels and said Lavia is the one, no one else, I think Lavia would be a Liverpool player.
Well, it kind of seems like Lavia was the one he wanted because when we lost that on Caicedo, we immediately went back and paid what we weren't willing to pay before.
But that to me sort of makes me think Lavia wasn't the first choice. Caicedo was the first choice, and Lavia was kind of there just keeping him sweet.
Yeah, I agree. But we couldn't afford Caicedo until we lost Flacco and Hendo. And then we went, oh shit, maybe we can do this.
And then we ended up at Endo.
Yeah, but You know,
Who Klopp
that's
wanted.
besides the
But he
point.
watched it from Stuttgart day. I know. Listen, all jokes aside, do you know it's frustrating for me?
Matt ain't gonna let this one go, bro.
That's frustrating for me. It don't matter if he's 16 or 60 mil. The point is, for some reason, Klopp said, yo, this is the guy to go and get. Bro, you didn't realize there's other players out there you could have got, like even a Kone for like 25, 27 mil. Like there's other players you could have got a little bit more. Remember, we paid more for Gravenberch, so there was money there. Do you know what? I think that's what burns me the most. There was
Gravenberch
money
is why
there.
we never bought Kone, Matt, in my opinion. It's
Bro,
because we knew we wanted Gravenberch and they're very similar players.
What I'm saying is, yeah, the DM is so crucial to how a team plays, yeah. It's your base, yeah. And my man's just kind of just done the whole
Grav and Kone ain't the same, you know, Drift. Kone's
just
a
don't get
6/8,
in then.
Grav's a
He's 16
8/10.
mil. He can do a job.
No, but
That's
they
crazy.
are still similar. Their stature, their playing style, they are still quite similar players.
Kone's more defensive
They're
minded.
not
No,
similar
he
at
is,
all.
but they are still kind of in the similar mold of like big, tall, strong, athletic, kind of like they're still in a very similar mold. Even if they have slightly different tweaks to their game, they're in a very similar mold. Because remember, Gravenberch was playing quite defensive at Ajax, boys. Yeah, he would get forward and stuff, but there would still be a lot of times when he was in the pivot and he was part of the defensive unit. So, like, it's not like Gravenberch is just completely can't defend.
No,
Do you
I'm
know what I'm
not saying
saying?
that, but they're completely different players. They don't play similar at all.
When I watch them, they look very similar.
Gravenberch is more of a goal getter or an assist maker. Kone's not that. Kone's
No,
more
I
of a
just think
controller.
Gravenberch is a box-to-box, Cal.
Yeah, but
like I would
Kone's more of
literally
a
describe him
controller.
as a box-to-box midfielder.
They're completely different. Like
I think
would
they've got a
trust
lot of
Kone. I
similarities.
would trust Kone in the 6. I wouldn't trust Gravenberch, but I would never trust Kone in the 10, and I would trust Gravenberch in the 10. They're completely different players.
Yeah, they have slight differences to the game, but I still think they're both essentially box-to-box midfielders.
I think they have massive differences. I don't think they're similar at all.
Fair enough. But I think they're both box-to-box midfielders with a very good ball retention, physical, tall, strong. Like I still think, even though there's a few differences, they are in a similar mode. And I think that's why we went for Gravenberch rather than Kone, because we just preferred Gravenberch. For whatever the reason may be, whether you think it's right or wrong, or you would rather Kone or not, I think that's why we did that instead of Kone. I would have loved to have had both, but I think that's why we went for one and not the other. But maybe the plan is to get Andre in January, you lot, and Endo was a stopgap. Who knows, man?
Time will tell. Right, let's help these supers. Crew, thank you very much for being a member for 5 months. Much appreciated.
Big up.
Alex Highland says, much love. Kopish, absolutely love the content, lads. Big up yourself, Alex. Much appreciated.
Big up, man.
Klopp-In says, Diaz has created 5 chances since joining. Should have taken the big money and got a DM. Those players make a difference, not a backup dancer. Big up Kopish. He's created way more than 5 chances off the top of my head.
Yeah, that can't be right. There's no way.
Since joining Liverpool, there's absolutely not. And he's not a backup dancer. He's our best left winger. Whether we like him or not, he's our best left winger. And
we shouldn't have to sell injury as well.
Not just that, we shouldn't have to sell a left winger to bring in a DM.
This is what I'm saying.
You know what? I'm not even having a go at Klopp-In, but even like when I think back to like after the match reaction to the Brighton game,
wow, it's crazy.
What is this new? Is Diaz ain't good enough? I'm so lost. Am I missing something, you lot?
Bro,
I am lost.
When you draw or lose, people just start saying
wild stuff. I am so lost on this.
Yeah, no.
Hilal, shout out for your generous super chats to keep up the good work, guys.
Big up, man.
Big up, brother. Big up, man.
Love, man.
M says, this sudden, wow, right on cue. This sudden Diaz hate is genuinely embarrassing. We're painfully reactionary as a fan base. Big up yourself. I agree.
You know what? You see, Cal, you know what? We need to drop the beat for that super. We need to actually drop the beat for that super still. I'm not going to lie. That was a mad super. Let's drop the beat for that, man.
Yeah, I agree.
a lot of people keep forgetting the controversy around the Tottenham game was the actual master finish from Diaz. Like, what's going on? I'm confused. I'm so confused.
People forget, man.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
crazy.
confused.
All right.
Shout out to Ben Washbrook for your super chat as well. M goes on to say Arsenal squad is significantly more balanced. Yeah, I agree.
Fair enough.
Big up to Tom Mizzy. Big up. I saw Kevin Prince Boateng on Vibe with 5. Man on a high pause bought Lambo, Hummer, and Cadillac in one day. And the members vid on the right back, one name, Jed Spence. Firstly, on the Vibe with 5, big up to Joel, big up to Rio, big up to Steve Howson, doing some fantastic work over there. So big them up straight away. That Kevin Prince Boateng interview, from the snippets I've seen, very insightful.
He's one of the best players to ever not do what he was supposed to do in his time.
The talent he had was crazy. I remember when he was at
Have you heard how he
AC.
speaks about Klopp as well?
No, I haven't. No, don't. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Incredible insight.
He was so talented. Oh my days!
At Milan, he was. I remember it was him. It was him, Rubinho, Ibrahimovic, bro. Kevin Prince was.
Yeah, bro. Kevin Prince was a baller, bro.
And Ronaldinho. Don't forget Dino.
No, was Dino there at the same time Kevin Prince was there? I remember Rubinho was.
Sure
was he? You sure he was there? Did he play with him?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. Cause yeah. Okay, yeah. You're right. Those are the days when Abate was at right back in them team there.
I'm a fan of Jed Spence, but I can't really speak on it too tough. But I'm a fan.
About Mizzy, I've seen John Wick 4 now.
I haven't seen it yet, you know.
I've joined the club. Hold on. Cal, let's get it. Matt, what's wrong with you, bro? What are you talking about?
Allow me, bro. Allow me, man.
I'm part of the club now.
I'll tell you what, I'll watch it.
Have you not seen Equalizer 3 yet?
No, I haven't. No.
I'm not gonna lie, the movie thing is a bit mad for me at the moment still. But I will catch up though. By next week, I would have seen John Wick 4. That guarantee. By this time next Monday night, I would have seen it.
No, John Wick 4 is definitely better.
Don't say that.
No. I'm just saying it's definitely better than part 3, in my opinion.
Okay. Don't say that, Moss, please, bro, please.
H says Endo looks like Cat the Luna in the 6 so far. I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
I don't.
I know in H is probably a madness.
It's probably something that you've read, you ain't realized.
Yeah. Might have to edit that bit out of the show still. Rude Boy LFC says, big up Kopish family, big up yourself, bro.
Big up, man. Big up.
LFCJ11 says, Cow and Drift, have you watched Top Boy? Yes, I've watched it now.
Oh, you've seen it now. Drift?
Hasn't.
Do you know what? Forget it, bro.
I'm doing better than you two at the moment with the movie and series thing. You don't need to step your game up, you man.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I've kind of killed the movie thing still, you know.
Cool. Sorry, my bad.
You have to stay with the boys, Carl.
I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself, man. Damn.
You have to stay with the boys. Huh? You have to stay with the boys.
Huh?
All right, then. Cool. Say no.
No. Have you watched season 2 of Invincible, Cal?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, season 2. I
didn't know it was out.
Yeah. Matt doesn't even think it's worth watching season 1.
No, I'm not saying. No, I never said that. Why are you gonna put? I never said that, bro.
Is this like a gateway to anime? Invincible? Would you say?
It's a gateway, but
not a gateway, but it definitely comes under the bracket. Definitely.
Yeah.
Man, we'll say I'm an anime guy.
Yeah, you might like it. You might like that.
Anime guy now, still. I take it.
You're anime guy now, yeah?
Yeah, man's an anime guy, bro.
All right.
What is it? One Punch Man and all that, you know, man.
You need to watch some Naruto then. I can't even
obviously, bro, man knows about Naruto and all that, man, bro. Come on now.
Name another character in the Naruto world.
That's not the point, brother. I'm invincible.
Let's name one more. Let's name one. Just one.
Apart from Naruto. Vegeta, innit? Come on now, bro. I done told you I'm an anime guy. Kalame, bro. That's what they call it.
No. It goes in the same bracket, but I wouldn't quite call it anime. But you're in the same bracket though. You're like
anime, man. Call it Kalame from now.
You're in the same bracket.
No one. LFC Network
I'll
said,
give
big
it
up the
George,
panel as
man.
always. You should do merch of t-shirt of you guys being Migos, Kop-Ish. That's what I call you guys. We might do that. That's a decent idea still.
Me
It's a
goes,
decent idea. Big up LFC
Trust.
Network.
Versace,
Star
Versace,
Daisy
Versace.
says, I don't think it's a sudden hate. Had a problem with Diaz decision making for a while. Need more ruthlessness. Doesn't mean it's an agenda scapegoat. Big up. Star Daisy, you don't have an agenda because of how you just wrote it. What you've said, I can accept and understand. But when people are saying Diaz is trash, or I don't get that
Crazy.
personally. Like Diaz, with Diaz last season, we get top 4 pretty comfortably.
Yeah. Right.
I think everyone forgets before Diaz got injured last season, he was easily our best player.
He was.
So
And we actually didn't look bad. I'm not saying we were great, but we didn't look bad.
he was dragging us through games. The Palace goal, the Napoli goal, like
Yeah.
the assist against Arsenal.
I don't
Yeah.
even think we lose the Arsenal game without the Diaz injury.
No, Luis
Yes,
Diaz is cold. It's cold.
Shout out to Kay, who says, "Hi, Kopish, my 21st birthday. Please, can you drop the beat? 21, man. Wish I could go back to them years.
The good old days, eh?
21, you know.
Enjoy it,
Big
brother.
up.
Downhill from Heya. Enjoy,
Big
enjoy.
up. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Man.
Big up. Boys, before we sign off, is there anything you'd like to say to the people?
I don't know. Keep your heads up, innit?
Stay positive, innit?
Yesterday,
we'll take a week off.
I was really down in the dumps yesterday, man.
I think we all were yesterday, to be
I
honest.
was
Take a week
really
off
down.
from Liverpool, if that makes sense. Reset. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll be back against, I think we've got Everton in it. We've got Everton, Merseyside Derby. I think that's when we're back.
Yeah, it is 21st.
For Liverpool, probably need this break because to only pick up 1 point out of a possible 6, yeah, we need to reset. We had to reset.
No, we've got to get back on track 100.
Yeah, we can't drop more points like that. We can't.
Yeah.
If we can't get back to winning ways, or we can't come out with fire against Everton at Anfield, then I would be worried. We'll come back on the madness, in my opinion.
And apparently we've got quite a favourable run where you don't want to take the P and be like, oh yeah, we should beat them. But we've had a pretty difficult start to the season.
Yeah,
we have had a pretty
lot harder than
start.
other teams.
So to get a few good games, like a few winnable games in a row, could be what we need. You know what I mean? So, and the fact that there's another bloody international break is a joke.
And what time's our kickoff?
12:30 Saturday, 21st of October.
Guessed it.
Then we play again on 5 days later.
Ain't that mad? First 12 o'clock game after the international break.
Crazy, huh?
Bro, this one's a bit crazy,
Crazy, huh?
This one's a bit mad. Listen to this, yeah?
Big
so
up
we
play
on the 26th of October. Then we play 3 days later against Nottingham Forest. Then we play another 3 days later against Bournemouth. Then 4 days later against Luton. Then 4 days later against Toulouse. Then 3 days later against Brentford. And then there's I'm guessing another international break because there's a gap between the 12th of November and then the game after the international break is Man City on the 25th.
Is there another international break in November again?
Bruv, it's just stupid. I've had enough of it. To be
honest.
What?
What?
But I'm not gonna lie. All those games I just mentioned, they're only like they're averaging around 4 days in between each other. Like 4 days, play again. 4 days, play again. 4 days.
No, man. But at least that run of teams is a favourable run compared to what we've just had to start.
It is. But I just don't like the fact of after international break, we've got Man City away.
Is that a 12 o'clock game?
Probably.
No, it's actually. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. Hold on.
They'll change that.
No, that means it hasn't been. That means it hasn't been allocated then.
Yeah,
because if they make Liverpool versus Man City a 3 o'clock kickoff, then I'm done.
On a Saturday.
No, I'm done. Are you not hearing me? If they make Liverpool versus Man City a 3 o'clock kickoff, I'm done.
They would have had to redo the scheduling because there's no way that's 3 o'clock. If they do, I'm not gonna lie, the Premier League's finished. There's no way you can put that game 3 o'clock.
Do you know something as well, boys? I know obviously we're wrapping up, but I just realised I wanted to talk about it, so I'll be very brief. After the controversy of the Tottenham game, do you see how much the PGM or whatever have the balls to still keep their agenda against Liverpool with the red card decision? No. The thing is, Matt, we're laughing
What
this
you
off
mean?
here.
Yeah,
We really should not be just letting this shit go, but everyone's gonna go, "Oh, look at them! They're moaning again. They're da 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 da."
What?
Like
Put that
it's mad to me that you haven't even, after all of the madness from the Tottenham game the week before, realised, look, maybe we need to just be a bit more like into this, take a little bit more time, actually figure this out. Wow, is this the right decision we're making here, guys? Like, they didn't even give a shit.
Yeah.
They actually didn't even give a shit. At this point, the PG, whatever, I just know that the PG at the beginning stands for pussies galore. That's all I know, bruv. I don't know what the rest of it means, but that's the only thing that I know, because that's what these men are. Because they don't care, they don't give a damn, and they clearly have an agenda against Liverpool that, regardless, even when the eyes are on them, you know what that means? That means a security guard is following you around the shop and you still steal something. You still shoplift and my man is following you around the shop. You don't care, bro. You don't give a damn. So
I've seen it for a while now.
I just had to throw that in. These men they're being watched and they still don't care.
No, it's kind of mad though. What's kind of mad is as well. He took it instant like this.
Mad. Nah, it's mad, you lot. It's mad. Because if they go down, if we go 2-1 up and they go down to 10 men, then obviously you never know. But based on the fact that that second half we was playing, you know, in the second half we played really well and all that, like we'd have probably comfortably come out that game 2-1, or we may even have got a third goal. So a red card at that point changes everything. It changes everything. Like, I'm sorry, man, this is mad.
Shout out to Kai Lewis, who says, say we win the league and the only game we lost was the Spurs game. What happens then? Could have been invincible. Yeah, I just take winning the league at this point now, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
yeah,
you know what? It is, and the thing is, Carl, I tell you what, if that ever happened, which it probably won't, so this is null and void, but if that ever happened, we'd call ourselves invincible. This is what it is.
Do you know what I want to see? Because you see all the other rival fans that have taken a mick out of us. You see if Spurs pip Chelsea, Man United, Newcastle, one of them teams to fourth by 2 points, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to laugh my arse off.
Cal, imagine if they won the league by 2 points against Arsenal.
Oh, even better. Even better. Even better.
I would be so smug talking to the Arsenal fans who tried to say that we're this and we're that and we're crying and all that.
I would just say simply, hold that.
Hold that.
People, if you haven't already, please do like the video. If you're watching now or on repeat, also subscribe if you're new to the channel. We will be back during the week. I'm not sure what day yet, but make sure you keep notifications switched on and follow us on social media for updates. And yeah, we'll have some fun shows for you guys during the
I can't say it, so I thought I'd just put it in the chat. That's what I think.
We'll have
we can't say it. I can't say it. I just
say it.
You know there was there.
We'll have some fun content.
At least you signed it, Matt. I respect that.
I had to. Come on.
But no, people, lads, always a pleasure. People in the comments, enough love to you all. Continue supporting. Make sure you smash the like button on the way out, people. Until we see you next time. Thank you again for watching. Stay safe, stay blessed. The Kop-Ish are out, people. Take care.
Peace.
PGMO.